Dun, dun, dun. Let this populate up a little bit here. World of Wills this afternoon as we get rolling here the next round, guys. Brownie always reminds me, if you're ever in early on these videos, that I need to do what, Brown?
You need to retweet it there, Jimmy.
Retweet it there right off the bat.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt you to do the same, Lance.
Okay, I'm on
Rockstar.
on it.
Okay.
Look at Rockstar out here in the field, y'all.
I know. I love it.
Y'all look Rockstar in the wild out here today.
In the wild.
In the wild.
In the wild. You got plans on this crazy Friday night, Rockstar?
I do not, man. I'm going to go to the World of Wheels. That's what I'm doing tonight. What are y'all doing?
I'm going to go to the World of Wheels. That's where we are. It's a great, great event that's been coming here 51 years, over half a century now. The World of Wheels here in Birmingham, and a fantastic show. I had a chance to walk around, guys, right when we first got here this afternoon, and just take a look at all the off-road vehicles, some old 1960 style race cars, Corvettes everywhere. Even a place you can race your Hot Wheels. We'll tell you more about the World of Wheels as we go throughout the afternoon. Let's introduce people since we may be new to this afternoon format. That far guy on the side in a very cool-looking gray hat. Is that a next round hat?
This is not a right next round hat. This is a hat for where my wife works.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, I would never would have guessed that.
No, it's called Creature.
Yeah, that is Sean Henniger, better known as Rockstar.
You ever been called a creature?
I've been called a creep.
Speaking of which, I hit one of those notes a little bit earlier. Brown made a point I didn't enunciate very well.
Dunaway, there was a female over here, and you guys know her, and she is a sweet, sweet girl. And Dunaway,
I was way over here.
Dunaway was way over here, and she was way over here. And Dunaway said, "I like those boots." And I said, "You might want to overpronunciate the T."
Yeah.
Did come out. I was mush mouth.
Mush mouth.
That's Lance Taylor right there with his. This is the multicolored jacket.
Where'd you get that jacket? Is that?
No, it's not multicolor. It just
shimmery.
It will reflect.
It will reflect. There's no doubt.
It looks different colors depending on.
Depending
your
on where you are, and depending if you've got a flash or not, and if you're at a. I guess an all-out rave, and you've got
I've been to a rave. I've never been to an all-out rave.
An all-out rave.
I tell you, man, I went to an all-out rave at Sloss Furnace one time.
Yeah.
Long story, but I invested in a rave years ago.
Like you paid for?
Whoa, invested in?
Invested in a rave.
You put money up, hoping to get more back from the door?
I really thought we were going to wait for the questions from the audience here and ask us anything, but I'm ready to hear about this.
So Ryan Brown, Jim Dunaway, let's go.
So there was a girl that used to work for our buddy Roney. She used to be one of his stylists.
Okay.
And so she was from New York City, and she grew up with raves. And this was before raves were a bigger thing in Birmingham. This is probably, oh my gosh, it's probably close to 20 years ago. But she wanted to put on this massive rave, and she had a pretty good social network before social media was big. I guess she was on the Facebook or whatever it was back then.
The Facebook.
The Facebook. That's what it used to be.
So anyway, so she got a couple of us to invest in her rave that she put together, and we got our money and then some back, believe it or not. But I ended up going to this rave, and I was fish out of water, as you can imagine, and just watching people dance around like I can't even explain. I guess you got to be on certain substances and have chemicals. Yeah. And they had the glow sticks, and the chicks didn't really have any clothes on, and it was interesting.
Did a little Brian Kelly when you were out there?
Yeah.
Did you say the chicks didn't have any clothes on?
No,
or that was an overstatement?
Yeah. I mean, this was from what I recall, it was in the summer.
Right.
So there wasn't, it wasn't a clothing optional thing. There were clothes being worn.
Okay.
It just wasn't a lot of clothes.
Yeah. Did you?
That didn't scare me.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good thing.
You know what it sounds like
you weren't
to me?
scared.
Sounds like part of the next round summer plans for 2022. We're back in the rave business.
We're gonna have a foam party, right?
Get back in the rave
So
business.
if you were invested in it, you weren't attending. You were going to work.
That's right. Was it profitable?
It was a work site.
Yeah. So I ended up getting my money back and then some. I forgot the amount of money.
Night.
Yeah, the amount of money that I put into it, but I got that, and then I got
go to the damn
some on top of it. It was actually one of my better investments I've made.
Not counting the next round, right? Of course. The next round's a great.
Did you call it? What was the name? I would call it Rave Reviews.
There was actually a name. She had a theme that night, and she had some dude that they had flown in from New York
to DJ.
It was back before.
Was there a lot of that?
Again, now that social media is out there, you guys will give me whether it's you're in Pascagoula, Mississippi, or Livingston, or Kansas City, Missouri. People can kind of figure out what's going on day of, moment of.
Right.
But back then, even 20 years ago, before we had all this social media, New York City, LA still had things that we didn't have. So we were still behind 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
So, these DJs were bigger, these rave parties were bigger, and they finally got to Birmingham. And I never was one that was involved in them, but, for that one night I was.
Smuff asked if you could do a rave. Hang on. I can put this up on the screen here. I don't think you can do a rave unless Rocky has a secret techno side gig we haven't heard about on the show.
Oh my God, I would not even go with
that's your personal hell, isn't it?
I would not even go. The lights, no.
Yeah, back when I used to really enjoy, and I still like an occasional club sometimes.
Right.
But I would rather have the nice couches.
Too much bacon and turkey.
I'd take one right now.
Hamburger Oven Club would be great.
You have to unhinge your jaw.
I would eat the heck out of that.
But even when I was younger, I don't know about you guys, but I would walk in a certain bar, and some of these bars, sometimes you would know people and they could get you in, and other people are waiting in line. But you'd get in there, and that house techno music would run me out.
Yeah.
You could feel it in your chest, and I'm like, I can't sit. First of all, you can't hear anything. Like, I can't sign. I don't know how we're talking. There's no communication.
You're blinded by a strobe light.
Yeah.
Yeah. MJ wants to know, was it with Blue Monkey? Were you ever at the Blue Monkey?
I was at Blue Monkey a lot.
Blue Monkey was my place.
Did you hit that a lot too,
Oh,
don't
yeah. Every night after late local. That's where all the late local TV people would go. It's very Ron Burgundy, 10:30 after on a weeknight.
What about you, Rockstar?
It looked like somewhere. I've been there several times, but it looked like something that was. You remember the show Eliminate?
Eliminate?
Eliminate. It was kind of like Blind Date, Eliminate, The Fifth Wheel. They came on late at night on the WB. It was this somewhere that you would go and eliminate. Eliminate was be one girl, 3 guys. Each commercial break, she eliminates a guy until she says, "I want to date you, Dunaway." I got rid of Brown and Lance because So
you're very selective, and especially in your
trash.
entertainment. Yeah, like you like
I was 20 at the time.
Full spectrum, though.
Yeah, but that was 20.
But back to Blue Monkey, there's a guy that we know that we were talking about used to voice commercials for this certain event that we're at. He's the only person I've ever known. He got thrown out of the Blue Monkey. But I can't say why on the air.
But it was a pretty laid back place. I mean, it was never very aggressive.
No,
Is that Tone the Bone?
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh, that guy that's blinking over there?
A transformer.
That's Bumblebee from the Transformers.
Oh, it really is.
I wish you would walk behind our
He's a
camera
lot
shot.
smaller than I thought he'd be.
We're here at World of Wheels, and you can see things like just a walking around Transformer.
Yeah. Wish you guys could see that.
Fully lit up. It's amazing. You need to come down here and see that. You can get tickets at the door. I noticed that. So you can go to World of Wheels on Facebook or look it out, Google it, or just come straight to the door. World of Wheels brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And we're here tonight. We're here till 6. But it's open until like 9, and then all day Saturday and Sunday. And our buddy Eric Estrada is going to be right over there at 6 o'clock on the main celebrity stage.
And so is Kamikaze. If you guys have any questions you would like us to ask Kamikaze, let us know.
He's going to crash right in here with us on his way to his public appearance on the main stage.
That'd be a huge help.
So we're looking forward to that.
You think Kamikaze's got a rap sheet?
I don't know. I'm not.
Well, he's a street outlaw.
Outlaw,
right?
yeah. I mean, if you're going to be an outlaw.
I'm an outlaw, but it's in the street.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, back on the far right corner, remember we talked Hot Wheels the other day?
Yeah.
They've got a track set up to race your Hot Wheels.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I used to love that when I was a kid.
If you want to bring your Hot Wheels, if you got kids who have fast Hot Wheels.
Wow. So like your old man used to take a bowling ball to the alley, or he would take his darts, right? And like carry maybe pool stick. Like people will bring their own Hot Wheels.
Well, my dad never shot pool, but my Uncle Kenneth did.
Did he have the stick that he
Came in a little suitcase like a sniper's
and he would roll around. My Uncle Kenneth. God, I hope he's still alive.
So you don't know if your uncle's still alive?
Y'all were tight, huh?
Don't know where he is.
You sound like me.
It's been years and years. Don't know where he
You're
was.
my cousin?
But I remember Uncle Kenneth didn't have
Rockstar seen that, by the way.
He didn't have any teeth on the upper part from about midway to the back here. He had teeth on the left side. Perfect smile from this side, his good side.
Right.
But none from here. But he would kill you in billiards. And I think he didn't have any teeth on this side because he had taken a pool stick to the mouth.
Yeah, somebody whip that tail for him.
He was one of those guys that
he would shark you.
He would lose early and then get the money going and then run the table on you.
Before we do ask us anything, you said Rockstar had heard that story. What's the story? Can you tell that one?
Yeah, I don't care. So I've got a really dysfunctional family, and and so we went to do a remote. Bob Baumhauer set this up at the wharf in Orange Beach, and they had just built those condos right there on the bay.
Oh, I love that.
And I'll never forget, it was when we were doing the show with Ian, and so we had done a Friday show, and then we were going out Thursday night, and then we did a Thursday show, went out Thursday night, did a Friday show. The Thursday night was when West Virginia beat Auburn and Tommy Tuberville got fired.
I remember that, yeah.
And was that the night we saw Pride and Glory?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Rocky and I, we went to see Pride and Glory, and then we went to
There's a bar that was like on the 4th floor of the condo. It was weird. Like it was in the middle of on the 4th floor was just a random bar, and we went in there. And then Lance, go ahead.
You guys probably hadn't seen the movie Pride and Glory with Ed Norton and Colin Farrell.
Mhm.
We went and saw that, and then we went to Floribama. This is like, I guess it was in late October, November. It was cold down there. But that Friday night, we ended up going out to the one bar that was still open at the wharf. And so we start hanging out with these random girls, and we're just talking, and, we start doing shots, and I find out this one's my first cousin.
Oh,
Interesting.
How about that?
Yeah, I hope you found it out before.
Oh, yeah. I
Okay,
mean, it
good.
was just conversation, but
right.
we did find it pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. And I actually was really good friends in high school with her brother. So I'm
How
really
about
good
that?
friends with Lance's first cousin, her
Yeah,
brother.
interesting. Never knew it, huh?
Yeah.
Did
No, I
she have
didn't.
all her teeth?
She did, I think. I don't really remember
did.
much.
She
It was
did.
a long weekend.
Worldofwheels.net, by the way, O'Reilly worldofwheels.net for all the information. Jim gave you a good rundown of what's going on this weekend, but you can get tickets at the door.
Oh, there's a lot more that's
Yeah.
going on back there. There's a guy and a skateboard jumping that's going on back there, and a ton of stuff. Funnel cakes are here,
I can smell them.
and a lot more as we get through this. We're not going to sit here and talk about the Auburn thing all day long, but I was listening on the way in. Everybody's talking about that wherever you go. It's just like
That's
Brian
crazy.
Harsin this,
Wow.
Brian Harsin
Big
that.
deal, man.
Yeah, we had a meeting right after our show today, and you guys had a different meeting, but the one I went to, we were in there with a couple of girls, and they were Alabama grads, and they were like, "What is going on with Auburn?"
What is
Well,
going on?
And they were
with
like,
Auburn?
"Is he done?" And I guess the consensus is still he is done. And everybody that I'm talking to now, Auburn fans are finally coming out. Hugh Freeze has got to be our guy. Hugh Freeze has got to be our guy.
Wow. Well, I will say this. The reports from AL.com are right now that Alan Green is currently meeting players.
Oh, that's never good.
That is never good. When it's not the coach and it's the AD,
That means players maybe never see Brian Harsin again.
they may not.
because he's on vacation and chose not to come back for the festivities.
Yeah, he said, if y'all going to fire me, you're going to fire me on vacation.
Do we
right?
know where he is?
No idea.
No, I would bet 30A.
But I'm sure it is not a relaxing vacation. Could you
I'm
imagine?
sure. I mean, he's
You
from
know-
Boise. I bet he's
Where-
skiing somewhere.
Where do you go to the beach when you're in Boise? I bet with his money, he probably goes to Cabo.
Cabo,
Go
exactly.
to the mountains.
But I would bet he. I mean, they've been in the South for so long, and he's been recruiting or allegedly recruiting. Not in the second signing period apparently.
Yeah.
But
He's on vacation.
but he. I would imagine they're skiing. They're skiing somewhere. Would not surprise me.
Yeah,
Are you guys? Do y'all like when it's in the cold like we are right now? Do you like going to the cold, or you like
No,
going warm?
I like just the opposite.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to be able sometimes in the summer, as fun as the beach is, to maybe go check out the some snow somewhere.
That's right. That's right.
You go to stay in the lodge. You look out the window where the snow is.
Yeah.
That's where I don't
Yeah, I
want to
kind
be
of
out
like
in
going.
it.
I like
like
going
the
where it's
view.
cold. Yeah.
I like going reverse. If
Yeah.
it's hot here,
Interesting.
go cool or cold. When it's cold here, chase the
Well,
sunshine.
guess what? It'll be hot here tomorrow and cold here
That's
Sunday.
right. You get
So
it
is
all
that
right
true?
here.
So
No,
what's
that's
tomorrow?
I don't know. So
Oh, I gotta
yesterday,
see.
2 days ago, it was hot.
Yep.
So it's nonstop every day.
I think it's cold all weekend. I see what you're doing, but I think it's cold all
And
weekend.
you get rain constantly.
We've got a low of 27 and a high of 45.
Yeah,
But
pretty good.
sun. We got sun.
Yeah, that's all you can care about. LT's a little sun. So we're here at the World of Wheels, having a good time with that. You can come by here all the way through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday too. Tonight, still time to get by, get your tickets here, or worldofwheels.net.
That's right. Worldofwheels.net. All right. Y'all want to do some Ask Us Anything here?
Yeah.
You can ask us over in the chat, send us tweets, whatever. Drake starts. Ask us anything. How many beers did LT have between the show this morning and now?
Drake, I had one beer and it was a Budweiser Zero. So I had
Interesting.
zero alcohol. I had it on the set when I was eating some almonds. My lunch consisted of almonds and a Bud Zero.
Yeah.
We'll go
That's a
down the
good
line.
lunch.
How many beers did you have, Rockstar?
Almonds and a Bud Zero.
I had about a liter of water
Yeah.
since the show.
We're all drinking a lot of water because of Way to Wellness.
What about you? Any beers?
I did not have any beers. I actually fixed two. We had two of our favorite people that were guests in the Next Round studios after the show. And one of them was getting up to fix beer, and he said, I need to go to the restroom. I said, well, I'll do it. And I don't do the tap a lot. So I was in there by myself. Nobody was in there to tell me what to do.
A lot of head. Gave a lot of head. Wait, what?
So I did the beer, and then don't you pour off a little bit and
The
then
head,
finish it?
yeah, the head of the
So
beer,
that's
yeah.
what I did. But then one of them came in.
Rockstar was trying to be funny there.
I know. I noticed
I
that.
gotta look.
You gave the guy you should have given the most beer to the least amount.
But it
Gave
had
him
a
half
good-
half a pour.
But it had a good little frost on the top, and the other one had none.
Well, I heard they didn't leave till like 3:30.
Okay, we'll see. He must not have been too upset.
Must have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How many
Well,
do you
we,
have?
we didn't leave till 2:50. I had a couple.
Okay, good. I'm gonna
Close-
probably
close to a few.
It's a Friday night. I've been really good this week. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to creep over to this Vulcan Forge kitchen, and I'm going to grab me a Bud Light here in a sec if anybody wants one.
Oh, are you buying?
Oh, so we don't have breaks.
We
do
don't have breaks. Yeah, you're
No,
gonna
so you
maybe
have
need
to-
a
I'll
sense
I'll
about
take
that.
a water.
Live.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll buy you one. Yeah,
All right.
well, you want water?
I'll take a water. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want water?
Sure. That'd be
You want
great.
beer?
I'm gonna want a small beer though.
Okay.
Dave says he wishes Rockstar would have asked if Bruce Jenner had been at the rave.
I would try to see.
You're gonna see if you can see Eric.
Just listen. Y'all gotta be quiet. I want to see it for storytelling.
I did have somebody say today. I loved the Eric Estrada interview was so bad that it was awesome, and that I still laugh out loud when I hear Rockstar say, "There it is,
There he is.
there he is,
There he is.
Bruce
showed up.
Jenner, there he is."
Yeah.
Took a while to get there, man.
Jay asked, thank you.
Oh,
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
thank
Appreciate
you
it.
so much.
Jay asked, did LT just drop a Livingston, as in the UW? What was Rainia's Town drop? I don't know what that is.
Well, he's got family that was always in Livingston,
you-
right?
you
So
spent
you've been
some
there
time
many
in,
times, right?
Hey, shout out to
and
Diamond Gems and the Monkey. Jay, I've spent plenty of time in Livingston. I don't spend time there anymore because I got a divorce 5 years ago, but my kids are still down there. Great people. Really enjoyed myself when I was in Livingston. My ex-wife, Bethany, went to school there for a couple of years, so still know a lot of people in Sumter County, and I'm a big fan.
Bethany went to UW.
She did.
Wow, I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Now it's West Alabama.
All right, University
Yeah.
of West Alabama.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful campus, and I still drive through on my way to New Orleans.
Worst mistake I ever made, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, well, let's hear this. What?
No, I'm just saying that they were the only ones that tried to recruit me in baseball, and I wanted to go to Montevallo.
So West Alabama at Livingston at the time recruited you to play baseball, and you
Damn,
told them
so
no.
if you would have gone that direction instead of being in the Montevallo Hall of Fame, you could have been in Cooperstown by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No.
true.
You could have developed late.
Mr.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Bob Reesner knew what he's doing. He sent me into broadcasting.
Zach asked, oh, wait a minute. I skipped one. Robin. Zach's is going to be good, by the way. Robin, would y'all consider picking a viewer or listener as a guest, maybe the week of the Iron Bowl or something?
I don't know about the Iron Bowl, but in June, yes.
co-host 4 hours if you want to.
Yeah, in fact, coming up spring break, I may be looking for somebody to join
but
me.
you know,
Yeah,
we
we're gonna do a contest.
we could do a contest, and we could have like a group of viewers come hang out on our Lego couch, and we could get you some food from a good sponsor and a couple of beers.
You know what we could do? It's been long enough. We could do the old dream job again.
Yeah.
We could do that whole competition.
Was it y'all before we joined you that had the listener that was always talking crap, and y'all had him up to host and he just completely melted? Was that your show?
I forgot who that was. I've got it documented in my journal, but yeah.
Yeah, he was always saying, "Oh, I could do a better job than you. I could do a better job than you."
I
and then
think he maybe started off strong for about a minute and then just ballooned.
Okay, so how much longer we got? That's going to be an hour and 59 minutes.
Yeah,
And that's what people don't understand sometimes. I mean, you may have a good thought or two. Now you got to stretch that into a 4-hour show.
We had a couple of guys that, and I don't know if we did this as a segment one time, but I remember a couple of guys brought scripts.
Ooh, that's not gonna
You
work.
get caught up in that script.
Yeah.
Good
you did
luck.
You did that point. I got a counterpoint. Hold on.
How you going to script
I
2
got
hours?
a lot of NFL stuff.
Yeah, you got to be Jimbo Fisher at that point. Put the glasses on and find what I'm going to be angered about next.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, the vice president of
By
Notre
the way,
Dame. Yeah.
By the way,
Hey, you kept flipping that card back
Yeah.
and forth too. It's like, what I got on this thing?
It was
cheat
like
sheet.
It was like this. It was like
Flip that card
and
over.
the vice president of Notre Dame.
You know what? I know you don't like people to see the readers, and I don't know why you care about that.
I don't want to look any older than I
No,
do.
but there's so many people that have readers now. But what I notice about them, because I'll have meetings with them, I'll be hanging out or whatever, and how often the readers come on and off. I mean, it's a nonstop process. And is it a
dramatic.
habit? Is it
It's
something?
dramatic?
It
Is that really what it is?
I think it's dramatic.
Well, we had a weather guy here. I won't name his name, but it was Mark Prater. And no joke, he would wait until right when we'd come out of the commercial break on the 3-shot, and it'd be like right on the 3-shot, and Sherry Jackson and I would start to talk about Mark Prater's here weather, and he'd go, and he'd do it just like that because
On camera?
he wanted it to look like he was studying something on the forecast,
Wow.
and he'd pull this off right as we'd get going.
You interrupted my flow. Yeah.
And there, the great Walter Cronkite, when he was announcing Kennedy's death, he put him on, and he read the bulletin.
Yeah.
And sad news from Dallas. So
And
that's where it really all started.
And
Everybody's
by the
been-
way, sad news is everyone's going to have readers if you live that long.
Probably so. I was trying to remember who I saw recently that had them, and I'm like, boy, if he's got them.
Because you know what presbyopia is, right?
Presbyopia is the degeneration, the macular degeneration of the eyeball.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
it's a Greek
Thank
word.
you.
It's the Greek word for aging eye. But typically, by the time you're 42, the eyes go where everybody's farsighted.
Yeah.
But our buddy David Walls had a major surgery, and he's got the eyes of a 22-year-old again.
Does he?
Interesting. Well, I may have to have that surgery one day because I squint a lot. I've got astigmatism.
You're Jameis Winston.
Well, my distance vision is not good. Like I can look over there with our coworker, and I can't really make out the guy's face she's talking to, so I have no clue who that is.
That is Mitt Romney.
That is,
Are you
Eric
kidding?
Estrada.
I can read. Seriously, he's got a placard on right
You
now.
can't read his name.
John Mitchell.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
It is John Mitchell.
It is
John,
not.
it's John Mitchum. It's Mitchum.
No, it's John Mitchell.
Are you serious? You can read his name? No, you cannot read his
Hell
name
no,
on
I
that.
can't read that.
I was about to say you got fighter pilot eyes.
Yeah.
I'd become a spy if I could read
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But I am better at a distance than I am close up. Like I can't read anything on your screen right now without my
Really?
glasses. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, my distance vision is bad. So I've got glasses that make it, 20/20 distance vision. The only time I've ever used them are sitting in the balcony at church, but they got stuff up on the screens now, so I don't even do that.
I can
Or
get
at a
you
game.
hooked up with our friends 969.
Well, but I talked to them when they were in our office, and they said it might not be for me because for stigmatism. And that's the great thing about Michael's. And I'll say this is they'll tell you it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
They're not just going to do surgery to do
Right.
surgery. And they told me that there's a decent chance it doesn't work for me.
Yep.
So
And
they
I-
don't want to do it because they can't guarantee it'll work for me.
And I can no longer even be a possibility for LASIK because I have Fuchs dystrophy.
Yes, you do.
Oh, fook that.
Yeah, you're
So-
you're fooked.
I joked with my eye doctor when she told me I was
What-
suffering from Fuchs dystrophy.
What is Fuchs dystrophy?
It is a aging thing that on the back, whatever your lenses are on the back,
Yeah.
she can explain it to you. But it starts to fog up. It starts to
It gets Fuchs.
yeah. It gets a little fooked.
So is it foggy right now?
No. But as I get older, she says it should not be a problem for me until I'm in my 80s. But I can't do LASIK because it can really damage my eyes.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that,
That's
Jim.
that's
man.
depressing.
But I started joking about wanting to, everybody's got to run for awareness, and I was thinking well, we should do the Fuchs 5K.
The Fuchs 5K.
Yeah.
Fuchs U 5K.
Oh,
Come, beat,
go fook yourself.
Yeah.
come beat the Fuchs out of Jim's disease.
Jim Fuchs eye disease.
All right. Zach says, did Lance ever ask out Layla from the X?
Oh, good question.
I think
good
he means
question.
Luca. There was no Layla that worked at the X, was there?
There's Luca.
No, it was
Luca. Did you ever ask out Luca, Lance?
No, I mean we had
we-
conversations and stuff, but no, there was never.
You were
anything.
married then, no.
But yeah, I was married then. And
The question would be, would single Lance have asked her out?
Okay, so Luca back in her heyday
This is so good.
in the it's probably 97, 98. I mean, if I would have crossed paths, if I would have been single me
So many
in
variables.
a bar,
No.
I probably
that
would
2x4.
I would have hung out with her.
Yeah. If you'd had a lot of drinks.
Do y'all believe that Luca really was from Jasper and it was all made up? That's what everybody used to
don't.
always say.
No.
You think she was really British?
Yeah, I think there was something to that. I really do. And then I also know a guy that was married to her or dated her. They lived together for a while.
You know him,
A
Rocky?
guy that you guys might know. I'll tell you, I guess in a couple of hours. I don't want to throw it out there, but I've asked him about it, a couple of years ago, and he said it was legitimate.
All right. Worldofwills.net, by the way. Worldofwills.net all weekend long at the BJCC. You got some info on that, or you want me to just wing it?
I mean, it's worldofwills.net, Brown.
That's
and
right.
There's over 172,000 different vehicles here right now.
I don't
inside
believe
the
that.
BJCC.
That's bull crap.
Most of them have-
172,000?
Most of them have 4 wheels and engines. And no, I'm making the number up, but
I was
there's a
about to say-
lot of cars.
Yeah, that's a lot of the
A
cars.
lot of cars, a lot of trucks.
I think you overdid that. I'd like
Yep.
that Transformer guy to come up here and let people see him on camera.
Really? You
Yeah,
like
he's over
that?
there now. Well, it's a cool look.
Can you guys keep an eye on the Brian Harson story for us so I don't have to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
I'm,
it.
I'm looking too. I'm looking
I
too.
got,
Hey,
I got you covered.
so could you parallel
see him.
park this this rig behind us?
Hell yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because when you're that big, if that tire's that big, nothing's in your way. You just park on the Volkswagen that's blocking you at that point.
So Rocky, the movie Roadhouse. I don't know if Dunaway and Brown have seen it, but
I've
Tiny.
never seen Roadhouse. Believe it or
he
not.
drove a blue one that looked like that. Remember, he drove it through the dealership. Was his bigger than that or smaller?
Oh, say small. That's a big truck.
That is a big truck.
That is a big truck.
Up next is Jack. What is Lance's favorite club song? Lance, your favorite club song? We'll go around the table.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, we're playing on words here, but I remember when In the Club came out.
I was going to say In the Club.
In 2003 from 50 Cent. There's only been like 4 or 5 like club songs that like flooded the club. Like people would run from the bar and jump on the dance floor. But In the Club was a great club
The
song.
Transformer is behind Lance right now. I turned.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. He was going to be in the shot for a second.
I have a feeling we pay him $5, he'll come over here.
Yeah, it's not worth that. I would just like to listen.
Do you think if you pushed him in a body of water, he electrocutes?
Yeah, he's got a lot of electronics on that.
It could be a submersible. You never know.
Yeah.
Um,
Rockstar favorite club song. Lance's is Into Club.
Well, I have an Into Club song.
I got 5 on it by Lunas. It's a great club song too, but it's a lot more low key.
Rockstar is your Sweet Caroline.
I saw Matchbox 20 in probably 2000. When did In the Club come out? 2003.
Wow. If Brown had missed that,
I wasn't going to miss.
I'd be concussed.
I wasn't going to miss.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Brand specific too, right?
In the Club had it's just come out. Was it 2003?
Yeah, it was 2003.
And Matchbox had just come out with.
I had a pregnant wife when it came out.
Well, all right. They had Matchbox 20 was in Birmingham at the Oak Mountain Amphitheater, and Rob Thomas at the end of one song jumped up to end the song, and he kind of started laughing and told the band, like, guys, I got a problem. When I jump, these pants are too tight. I have totally split my pants.
Oh, wow.
And he said, guys, I'm so sorry. Told the band, he's like, can y'all do something real quick, instrumental, while Rob goes get some pants, changes his pants. And so they looked at each other. You could tell they did this at soundcheck, and they did all instrumental of In the Club, and it was awesome.
Oh, I bet it was good.
Because you could tell, like, we kind of messed with this during the soundcheck just to be funny, but then, like, he ripped his pants, so we got to kill 3 minutes. So that's my In the Club story.
Says,
if anyone's wondering, blow the whistle for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I forgot. You didn't get
That's
that. Blow the whistle.
Blow the
Who
whistle.
sings that?
Yeah, that'd be a little too short.
Oh, did you have to look it up?
Of course he did. That's the way Dunaway rolls on this stuff.
I don't think they're talking about a whistle in there, Rockstar.
Ask us anything, Jim. Have any of y'all ever been fired from a job? If so, why?
You know, I have not.
I have not either.
Well, I'll take that back. I may have been.
Well, the chicken joint, you just quit.
I quit Church's Chicken after 2 weeks. I can't remember if I got fired or if they saved me. The AM station in Alabaster, AM 1500, changed owners, and they went from a country format to a Southern gospel format. And I was the morning DJ, and we went from those carts to just playing the old Southern albums of gospel. And I may at like 6 a.m. have put my head down and fallen back to sleep, and the album may have run out. It may have been going shh, 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 and the owner may have come in and fired me.
Maybe.
I can't remember if the late Mike Wood got me the job back or not, though. But if I got fired, it was because of that.
That's funny. I worked for Mike Wood too.
Did you?
Back in the day, very, very early.
Late Mike Wood. We lost him too soon.
Yeah.
So
we did.
I think I got fired. It was one of those. So I was working at the car wash. There was 2. There was one on Green Springs Avenue across from the Huddle House. When you go down past Tootie's, when you can get on 65 down there. And then I worked there for the same owners, Great American Car Wash. And then the next summer, I moved up to the one on Valley Avenue where the Sonic is now.
Yeah.
By where we used to work at Jocks.
Right.
And so me and my buddy Stuart and Chris and Drew and a guy named Ram, we all worked there. And all we did, there was a Chevron station next door. And we would walk back and forth, and they sold ponies, the 8-ounce beers.
Right.
And we were all 17, 18, but they would just sell them to us. And so we would just sit there.
No discretion at all. Huh?
We would just drink nonstop on the job. But, people would come in and they'd get their oil checked, and they'd get, we'd have to fill up the gas, and we'd put their car through the car wash and stuff. But new ownership came in, and they basically said, look, we're starting from scratch. So I don't know. They never said you're fired. They just said, we're building a new team here.
Proud to be the new team, sir.
Yeah. We're going in a different direction. You're not.
I just always saw them. There was apartments behind that. Like if you look up behind that Sonic, and it's like a Napa warehouse now. Yep. There's an apartment complex, and I just always imagined them scouting, seeing what we were doing before they took over the company, just with binoculars watching us. Because people would just come in and play music. I mean, it was like the place to hang out in high school. People would just come see us at work.
So behind that Sonic, if my memory serves me correct, because you know all about that side, was there ever a skating rink there?
Yeah,
right beside it.
I remember going to
birthday party there.
I remember going to birthday parties there.
I went to some bratty kid's 10th birthday party there. I may have been at his birthday.
Were you invited?
No, I went.
Oh.
I used to skate there. That
Yeah.
was the place to go skate for me for a while.
Vaguely remember that place.
So have you ever been fired? You good?
I had an internship at a radio station before I went to Jocks, probably 2 years before that. It's probably 2000, 2001. And the guy who was my boss made me alphabetize some CDs. And he said, all right, that's about it for the day. I'm going to go to the local strip joint for lunch. Do you want to come with me? And he was I was like, ha, ha, ha. He's like,
No, I'm serious.
no, I'm serious. I was like, it's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. And so he left. And I remember going home and I never came back to the job.
Wow.
To the internship.
Wow.
And they didn't even contact me. Hey, you coming in today? So I don't think I was really necessary.
We are at World of Wills,
What
by
about
the way.
you? Did you ever get fired?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, the closest I ever came.
You're driving the show, not let anybody finish the questions here.
Well,
You got
I mean-
four answers.
Are we going best strip club story after this?
I don't know. It's whatever they ask.
I'll go best. I can beat you on best.
I was pulling up the World of Wills information here real quick.
Have you ever been fired? Is the question on the table?
I'm about to say that. I have not been fired. The closest I ever came, I grew up on a golf course and I worked there through high school. And I had to go out on the course for something. I think it was to change out the water, the water jugs. And there was this hole where if you went on the cart path, you had to go all the way around, but you could cut through the trees and get to the end of the next hole, right? So I decided I'm going to cut through the trees. And man, when you did it, it was boom, 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 like that, like your own, four wheel. And I come out and the owner of the course is standing up on the green putting and he laid into me for doing that. And I swear I thought I'd gotten fired, but it didn't. That's close as I ever came. It's not a great story, but you wanted me to tell it.
Best strip club story.
I don't know if I can do it.
I was dancing, right?
Worldofwills.net. It is all this weekend at the BJCC. Come by and see Kamikaze from Street Outlaws, one of Lance's favorite and Rockstar's favorite too.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Estrada of Chips fame. Worldofwills.net for all your info. Worldofwills.net.
I do have a really good one, though.
Well, I could clean mine up a little bit. I can't. It's a typical Jimmy Landmine. I almost went Jim Landmine. Am I old enough yet on the landmines
James Landmine?
to go to Jim Landmine? I can't remember which year it was in the Outback Bowl in Tampa, but I was at the night before the game. I was at the Venus. What's it called?
Mons Venus.
Mons Venus. I was at Mons Venus, which is famous of professional athletes of strip clubs because they don't strip. They're all totally naked, and there are bunches of them out at one time.
Bunches.
But they
It's like grapes.
They're like, totally naked, just walking around. But beautiful women back then. I was single, and this is so Jim Landmine. Like half the starting lineup of the Alabama football team was in Mons Venus the night before the game. I mean, it was late on the clock too. I mean, I'm sitting there looking. I mean, there are players that are going to have to make plays the next day for them to win. I think they're playing Ohio State maybe the next day. And
Michigan. It was in Tampa, right?
It was in Michigan. And I thought to myself, well, Alabama is about to get it handed to them because these boys are out at Mons Venus.
Then we went and bet, didn't you?
Now, there's no alcohol, but I bet they were, sipping on something.
Yeah, I think there was a point you could bring your own.
You bring your own in, right? They just couldn't serve it,
Yeah.
right? And they had mixers for you. They charged you for the mixers. That's what it was. So we're in there, and I remember telling my buddies. So I called my bookie. It was back in the days before the internet. I called my bookie, and I put heavy on Michigan because there is no way these boys were rolling out of the strip club and playing. And that was the early game the next day.
How'd that work out for you?
Oh, they kicked their ass. I mean, it was Alabama all day long. And I just thought to myself, how in the world are they doing this? But they did. They did. They partied hard and woke up and kicked some butt the next day.
I'll clean one up. I've got like 5 or 6. I haven't been to a strip club in probably. Last time I went to one was when we were in Dallas.
Oh, well, we didn't really go to that one.
We walked inside. That was 2015.
That was literally the one where we were at a restaurant or a bar or something, and I left and went back to the hotel, and y'all went to this place, and y'all beat me back to the hotel somehow.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. We went to the really good steakhouse,
That's right.
right? And then we went
Nick
to
and Sam's.
We went to a place that made upscale drinks.
That's right. I remember that.
Right. And then you went your way, and
Yep.
we didn't want to go home. And McLaren sends us.
That's
to-
right.
There's one club that's still open, and we didn't know what kind of club it was.
Rainstorm.
And I go back. I'll never forget. I go back and I'm sitting with Marty Smith at the bar, and I see you guys coming back in. And Dunaway goes, they made us walk through metal detectors.
They patted us down.
I was like, wow, that's a class joint.
So you might remember this. I know that Rocky and Brown are going to have no idea. Lynn's Den. I think it was on 1st or 2nd Avenue.
Sounds classy, Lance.
So I was working at Applebee's in the old Brookwood Mall when it was actually in Brookwood Mall.
Oh,
This
how
was
about
I was
that?
home from college,
I missed that mall.
I would kill to see you working at
Yeah.
Applebee's.
but I was working with a guy. We'll call him Poncho. You guys know him.
Yeah.
He's got a nickname.
Yeah.
And so me and him and
Did
some,
he work at Applebee's?
yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
So me and him and some other guys had gone to Lynn's Den that night, and we met friends with some of the entertainers.
Right.
And so we decided, because Poncho's parents were out of town, and he was living at home with them, that
Poncho.
we would just take everybody back to the house.
Right.
And so we went there, and Poncho and I had to be in. I think we had to get there at like 10 o'clock for the 11 o'clock shift to start the next morning. And it was probably like a Wednesday or Thursday. But I'll never forget, towards the end of the shift, he called his younger brother just to kind of explain what had gone on the night before, because the party got a little
We'll call
wild.
him Lefty.
But when he calls, one of the entertainers answers
Answers
his
the phone.
phone.
Hello.
So literally he goes home, like sprints home, because
Poncho does.
yeah, the parents' house is 5 minutes from Brookwood, and when he
Right.
gets there, the new guest was wearing his mom's robe,
Oh, not mom's robe.
and
It's not mom's robe.
that is a true story.
Oh, Poncho.
Is Poncho a Saints fan?
Possibly.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
like old Poncho. We're at the World of Wills. Just a great place for people to come hang out on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night in Birmingham, Alabama. You can come by here. Great food, but also classic cars to take a look at. And the best thing about this place, they got the hoods up. You can look in there, talk cars with everybody. But it's not just, if you're not a car person, you just come around here and enjoy the festivities at the World of Wills. A lot to see and a lot to do here. It's just one of those great things that you can bring the family to here in Birmingham, Alabama, and not bump into many Ponchos.
All right, up next, Smuff asks, if Harsin ends up getting canned, it looks like it's headed that way, where does the Dunaway freezing cold take tweet land on the landmines all-time list?
For those that don't know what we're talking about, on December 22nd at about 7:34 p.m. of 2020, when Brian Harsin was hired, I tweeted, Brian Harsin is a great hire for Auburn. Great, high character guy, period, at Auburn football. And that is being retweeted today a lot. Like, my analytics are high today. I'm going to stick by my high character comment until I know
Well,
different.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
yeah, I'm sticking by that. I mean, I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah, you can call it a frozen take or whatever we're calling it right now, until I'm proven different. I'm gonna ride with he's a high quality person.
Where would you guys rank it?
I mean, it's hard. Auburn's pretty. I mean, I say this, and then you look at the money that they've paid out, but they're pretty patient with coaches as far as like giving you.
Yeah, I mean, they'll fire you and pay you a ton to go away, but they give you enough time to succeed or not, is what you're saying.
I mean, a one and done is amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I mean, when's the last time we saw a one and done in the SEC?
This is very close to Mike Price.
Chad Morris got 2 years, didn't
He
he?
did.
Yeah, he sucked.
This is close to Mike Price.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mike Price was
a spring
months, and this has barely been a year.
By the
Yeah.
way, did you shake his hand?
I did a show with
he
him.
did the only
Oh,
Mike Price
yeah.
coaches show, remember?
Yeah, I did the
I
Mike
see
Price
good
show.
things for you, Coach.
I did.
Good
I said,
things.
you're going to love it here.
You'll retire
You're
here,
going to
Mike.
be here a long time,
Yep.
Mike.
Head to Pensacola.
Yeah.
I got some ideas
Just
for you. later.
relax for a couple days.
My man Poncho's going to pick you up at the airport.
Burn off some steam in Pensacola, Mike.
No, I mean, I played in the Bruno's now Regions Pro-Am with Mike Price the Thursday before he got fired on Saturday.
Too
And
bad you didn't play in the Pepsi one down in
I know.
in Pensacola, right?
Yeah.
But we're walking around and he's not playing really because his mind's everywhere and he's walking in the middle of the fairway, doesn't want to get close to the ropes to talk to people. And he's like, thanks for standing by me, literally standing by him. A lot of people are just ignoring me here on the course today. And he goes, you really think I can get fired over this? And I was like, I don't think so. There's no way they can fire you.
You're the Alabama coach.
Hadn't even coached the game.
You're the Alabama coach. You're bulletproof.
40 hours later, he's on a plane back to
I
Pullman.
mean, the amazing thing about that story, and I know Rocky has a lot of stuff he probably can't talk about because I think people close to him that represented him and all of the fallout and the slander. And
I'm pretty
libel,
sure he
whatever.
does, yeah.
we'll call him Poncho.
Yeah.
But we all know somebody that was down there with him and called him when he was playing golf and said, look, this is what's going on at the hotel. I can get this taken care of right now. The problem is you've put this on a university card, or she has. We can get this thing taken care of. Don't worry about it. We're good. Don't worry about it. Playing
Just
golf.
play
Don't worry
golf,
about it.
man. Go
Yeah.
go play golf. Go play
Yeah.
around.
Really, you go ahead and you go ahead and let Ray Donovan clean it up for you.
Yeah.
I mean, the awareness was at a 0.
Well, I mean, that's the way it was allegedly in Tuscaloosa. We had a female intern that said there were members of that coaching staff that would buy you free shots if you were a student and a female. And the only caveat was you had to sit in their lap while you did the shot.
Yeah.
See, that's very selective.
Yeah,
That is
that'll,
very
that'll
selective.
only get you the Ole Miss job now.
That'll get you a nickname train.
Yeah. All right. In that vein, Paul says, "Can you discuss the landmines that have not been told yet?"
I think we can, but I think we need to save it for.
Well,
No, we can never do those.
I think
two.
we can.
all right. We'll determine what we can.
Man, it
and can't
wasn't
do.
your fault. I mean,
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Well,
know, but
I
there's
we
no
do
way
call
we
it a
can-
landmine.
No way we can tell those stories and not laugh about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
was tough.
is it still the biggest one that we actually talk about was the presidential election, right?
I mean, that was a pretty big one. It
I'd
affected,
say so. Yeah.
affected the country.
Yeah. I'd say so. I'd say that was a pretty big one.
Half the country.
Yeah,
well-
I'm trying to think of some other ones.
I mean, there's a third one we don't throw into the two we can't talk about, but I don't really like talking about that either. I think you made the same mistake about a hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God,
Yeah.
that was. Woo! I was there for that one.
Yeah.
No, but you tweeted something out about that?
No, I commented.
Oh yeah.
I think I even told Brown. I was like, Cat 3.
Yes. Really gonna do anything.
And that was back before weather really had it dialed in.
Yeah.
But me being a weather geek, thinking Jimmy Titan knows what he's doing, I really didn't think that was going to turn into much.
Well, I believed more in the levees back then.
All right. I didn't know that would go
Well-
that route.
We'll call that Hurricane Poncho.
Eric Rockstar. Eric wants to know, is the trout pond open? That's your favorite part of these things, right?
I'm trying to find
Is that this event?
no, that is the Deer Expo, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, give us
you're
the,
right. It is.
Give us the old Dare Expo commercial.
Trout pond, Barney Fife impersonator, parking spots, few parking spots. Loud people next to you making announcements.
That's our boy Sears. Brett.
By the way, that is former Cumulus employee
Yep.
David Sears. I didn't know he was a former Cumulus employee until right
just
now.
a few moments ago. Brett on Facebook wants to know over under on when Clessy shuts down her Instagram. If you know, you know. When do you guys think that'll happen anytime soon?
Nope. Not
Oh,
that-
you think that Instagram will stay up?
I think it stays up until legal gets involved.
Well,
If that
I'd-
even becomes a point.
It's had a lot more visitors.
I'd like to see what her number's on.
Still up, by the way, 12,800. I think.
I mean, when I got on, it was 9,000 and something.
Yeah, it was
So
like
it's gone up
9,000
like
during
that.
the show. When you said she'd added 10,000, it was at 9,000. She's added 3,000 followers since then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, she's aware, right?
Yeah.
Has she posted since? When's her last post?
It's last post.
I don't even know what her name is. So
I don't really either. Last post is December 16th, Rockstar. It's been since December. We got some stories out
sounds
there.
like
though.
me.
I've got her at 13,000.
Oh, I'm way behind. Yeah. Yeah, if you know, you know. I don't know when she's going to shut her down. Doesn't appear anytime soon. Still got that.
I don't think she will.
Still got that thing up and cooking.
I mean, what do you guess age is on that?
Hers?
26?
Yeah, maybe.
I think they like building their following.
This is from way back. We're way behind. Kevin said he's in Mexico is where we would find Brian Harson right now.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Cabo.
Cabo. Is that what we said? Did
Yeah.
somebody say that?
Yeah.
I said Tijuana.
My apologies. I didn't hear it. Got a lot going on over here, Jim. Just trying to drive a show.
Yeah.
A lot of balls in the air.
I
A
know.
lot of balls in the
Can
air.
I
Herding
just,
cats.
can I just make one comment about the girl we were talking about?
Sure.
Just since the December of 2019,
Right.
she's gone to Vegas twice, Italy, and the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, you know. Travel while you're young.
Sound
Don't we
like
always
a-
say that?
Sounds like a former coworker.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'd like to travel, man. I don't get out enough.
Smuff asked more favorite interview of ours, Barry Switzer or Pat Bradley?
Barry Switzer.
Switzer.
Yeah, Switzer.
I might go Pat Bradley.
Bradley's was great, but I think Switzer's.
I can't remember which one I laugh more at.
I would like to have had Switzer on this format,
We
Yeah,
tried.
well, we tried, if you'll remember.
He said he was in traffic and
driving that damn truck.
in the damn truck in traffic. I don't want to
Yeah.
do it on the phone like this in traffic.
Reese asked, who do each of us view as the funniest? Rockstar.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
Rockstar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close.
No, it's not. Like Rockstar will say things, and this happened today, actually. He'll say some stuff Like during a break, I'll get up from our studio and I'll walk into the room where Rockstar, Scott Forrester, and John Lunsford are. And he'll say stuff in there and I'll laugh in there and then I'll come back and I'll think about it again and keep laughing. I mean, to me, that's a test of good humor. Like he did one today.
What was it today?
I don't want to repeat it because it was a joke about the hottest news story we got going today. And it's not even that bad of a, no, it's not even that bad of a joke. And and when I repeat it, you'll say, I can't believe you thought that was that funny. It's just the delivery sometimes, Rockstar.
Yeah.
It's not even what you say, it's just the delivery. Like the rest of the day after you said that during the Eric Estrada interview, and we, like Dunaway said, we had somebody bring it up earlier today when Rockstar said,
remember that number 2,800.
okay, let's see how that grows.
In case
There it
that
is.
story explodes, let's remember 2,800.
Right. All right.
See if we get that one to 13,000
Yeah.
ever.
If that story ever comes out, we will. Trust me. Jay said he lived in the was it the Blue Monkey?
No, Brass Monkey.
Brett
Well,
Downtown.
Blue Monkey.
Blue
was
Monkey. He
downtown.
lived there for about
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, but I think Jay is going back to what we talked about with. I've got a feeling Jay went to Livingston or West Alabama.
Oh, okay,
and
I got
he's
you.
going back to the Brass
Oh,
Monkey
yeah.
because that was the only bar in town.
But
Yeah.
there were some condos right next to the Blue Monkey.
Yeah.
That's where Abby Chin and her now husband lived. That seemed very convenient.
Is the Blue Monkey still open?
I think it closed.
No.
Okay.
I think it closed
think so.
down. Because our friend Bernie, who owns
Bamboo.
Bamboo on Second, sold it and opened that restaurant, which is fantastic.
Hey, Mike Rada is telling me that the Ricky Bobby car from Talladega Nights is on display here. Did you see that, Dunaway?
Wow, I did not.
Yeah, Mike works a little bit with the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, and he says they have loaned it to this event. That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. I bet it's up on the main floor, up
Yeah.
the staircase.
The actual Ricky Bobby car.
How
I did not know that was at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame.
you know, Rada works with my buddy Ed Kowalczyk.
Okay,
Yep.
That's
who's
a
a
Lead,
long-
lead singer live.
that's an important. That's an important thing to add.
Well, I
to
didn't
this,
know
yes.
that until I saw Ed at breakfast this past week, and he's like, you know, I'm doing some work for the Motorsports Hall of Fame, and I was like, my friend Mike Rada is too.
I
How
gotta-
often do you run into people at breakfast?
I know Dunaway's his
Eddie.
breakfast is very social.
Don't leave. If I gave you, how much would it take next year for next year's World of Wheels that you have to diagram the floor plan of how to lay out all these cars?
Well, I don't know crap about cars.
I
like,
mean, that is just,
yeah.
you got to do the layout and the blueprints and like, hey, Lance, will you park these for me?
I need you to park that blue one right
then
there.
you piss the guy up
Yeah.
with the El Camino. Hey, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa!
I'm in the very back.
I mean, just the layout of where to put cars, what cars where.
You know, these GTOs over here, like who decides that they're the fourth one on the second row back?
I don't know. That's
Was they
silver
like-
one.
And somebody's upset that they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they get all
I
pissed.
thought I was supposed to be the third one on the first row.
Yeah.
In Chattanooga, you were the third one on the first row. I thought I was supposed to be there this week.
Worldofwheels.net. I'm going to read you guys some from Twitter. How do magnets work? Does anybody know how magnets work?
Is that a question we got?
That is a question.
For this
Magnetism.
group?
You get the Earth's core is I don't know. Like a
W
compass.
It really is all about negatives and positives, and you get some negatives on one side, some positives on the other, and they pull to each other.
David asked, WWE style battle royale of SEC football coaches. First out, last two left. All right, so this used to be really easy with Ed Orgeron, but he's out of the league now. So think through this. If we went battle royale, 14 SEC coaches, who's the first one out?
Can I say of all the
Who's the Missouri coach?
questions?
Eli Drinkwitz. I
Yeah.
think that's who it is.
Of
Yeah.
all the questions we always get,
Yeah.
this is my least favorite.
Okay. Jim's not
Out
going
of
to
all the
participate.
questions we've ever received,
I think
do you think
would
Pete
be
Rose
out
should be in the
first.
Hall of Fame?
I'd rather debate P. Rose than this
Really?
hypothetical fight.
Oh, God.
But Eli Drinkwitz is who you
He's
guys would
first
have as the
out.
weakest?
Yeah, he'd be
Yeah, he's
first
first out. Last two standing,
I mean,
Billy Napier.
You'd put Eli out before Brian Kelly?
Yeah, Brian Kelly. He's got that red face, man. I think he's got a hot
Brian
temper.
Kelly was he was a middle linebacker in college.
Yeah, and he's got a hot temper.
I still think I still think he'd be a handful.
I bet Sam Pittman could clean out a bar.
Oh yeah,
I think I'd go Billy Napier.
Muschamp would have been a handful back.
He
in
would
the
have
day.
been if he were a head coach. I'd go with
And
him.
Orgeron, I would have gone one.
Oh, there's no doubt. He's one.
There's Barney Fife.
Barney Fife impersonator. There he
Hey,
is.
he is. Hey, Barney. Love that guy.
Yeah,
Love that guy.
he's actually not a bad impersonator. How you doing?
You
Oh,
got
no.
your bullet?
Oh no.
Yeah, he's got his bullet. I knew he did. Yeah, there he
How you
is.
doing? You live here? Do you live around here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
that's a good costume. I like it. Yeah, Barney Fife impersonator. I think he listens to the show. Did Franco Harris catch the ball before he hit the turf? Yes or no?
Oh, 100% yes.
Yeah, did. Yeah, it's not even
Okay,
close.
All right, not even close.
Yeah. Didn't even have to go to replay.
Ansley wants to know what a girl's got to do to get some TNR crew necks in the shop.
I'm with you, Ainsley.
Are we working on that?
We do need some. What we need to do is find a
Wait,
Model?
so we're out of T-shirts?
No,
No.
wait, you won't say girls to crew net.
We do. We need
Oh.
to capitalize this like EA has done for Fanatics. We need to have, a future, next round employee who's a female, and
Keep going.
she has a line of clothing
Okay.
I like where you're going
for
with this.
females.
And she models it too, right?
Yeah.
Rockstar, it's America. If
Yeah.
she'd like to.
This
I'm
is
okay
the
with
next round bikini.
If we had
Yeah.
those. All right. That's all on Twitter right now. Smuff was asking our worst interview. He says the late Ralphie May. Ralphie May was
I think-
awful.
He
I
was
think-
good the year
yeah,
before.
I know. That's what you always tell me.
He was a good interview that just didn't get a lot of laughs, so he tried to go through the shock value.
He tried to do the Chick-fil-A
He
joke with
did.
Tim
Yeah.
Tebow.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A and a Jesus joke.
It was
and-
news of the day, so he's trying to get out on us.
yeah, it did not go well.
He said he was a huge Pittsburgh fan. Loved one of his good friends was Ben Rosenberg.
He did say that. Yeah.
Love me some Ben
I
Rosenberg.
thought Chris Johnson, when he was having an incredible season with
Oh,
the
God.
Titans, was terrible.
Yeah.
One of the best was Gerald Wallace, where Lance asked if you're going to watch Kobe and them go, your team for the U.S. going in the Olympics. He goes, "No, man, I play them all the time.
How deep?
I'm not going to watch.
How
any of that."
deep was his voice, by the way?
Wait,
very.
he's like, I ain't gonna watch that. I played them all year. I'm not gonna watch any of the Olympics. You're like, all right.
All right. Thank
And
you, Joe.
Chris
Thanks for being
Kattan
here.
was awful.
Chris Kattan's the worst of all time. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Who's the guy who comes in and put his hands on you a couple of years?
Pauly Shore.
Pauly
Shore.
Shore.
Yeah. But he
Oh.
wasn't a bad interview. He just,
No.
I think he wanted to take Lance home.
Yeah, he was just weird.
Always
wasn't.
distracted by Lance.
He was. Steve asked, when we got caught saying someone rubbed one out on a hot mic, how much trouble did we get in? Absolutely none.
None.
I did. I was going to Dunaway's hotbed of 30A that night, and I left straight from the show, and we were at dinner that night, and it was when I was still married, and I was like, I think this could go bad because I don't know how much was heard on that mic.
Oh, was this the old Clay Travis?
Yeah,
No,
it
it
was
was
the Clay
Clay.
Travis.
Clay
That
was
was-
late coming down. Yeah.
No,
Whose
that
fault
was-
was that?
That was my fault
Well, it was
because
Rockstar's fault.
Lance was recording a live before
Yeah.
that off air, and I did not take it back into programming like I was.
It
supposed
worked
to.
out great.
We've come really close, and some of the things we've said, and I think it was your fault again when we were in Philadelphia. No, we were at Silver Star, Philadelphia, Mississippi. We had to go in to judge a Hawaiian Tropic bikini contest, and they had an individual contestant from each state. And so me and Ian were two of the judges, but we took a bunch of clients with us. So we're doing the show the next day, and we had hot mics. And Dunaway, I think you might have texted us,
I did.
but we were talking
Oh, no.
nonstop during the break, and for whatever reason, it was a completely clean conversation.
Wow.
It was.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Incredible.
I texted you. Really, we're not that good of friends with you or Fitzy.
But it was uncomfortable, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
you knew something was coming.
And I really wanted your job, but I didn't want it that way.
But I mean, I'm shocked because that's back, that would have been really bad.
I would imagine I would lose my job first before you.
I don't know. You didn't say anything.
We got absolutely nothing though for that. I mean, in fact, I think our bosses kind of thought it was funny.
Yeah. We got more trouble.
Oh
we
yeah.
we can say this now, right?
Are you talking about the what if it was your daughter?
Yeah. What if it was your
Oh,
sister?
Can
or
we tell
daughter?
that story?
No, because I talked to a certain individual today, and I'd rather not. do
Okay.
it.
Is that still alive, by the way?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
The best was you got a daughter, you got a daughter, you got a daughter, and looked at me and go, I have a sister.
I was laughing. Robin asked if we've ever told a boss to take this job and shove it. Dunaway did.
I did.
What was it? Church's Chicken?
Yeah, but no, I did it in TV one time. Well, I didn't tell him to take the job and shove it, but I was at NBC 13. We were owned and operated by NBC at the time. So it was a big corporate guy. Chuck Wing was his name.
Right.
And he was the general manager. And he did not want us to cover Talladega, the NASCAR race at Talladega. We could go there, but we could not take the satellite truck. So no live shots from Talladega. And his reasoning was, and I asked him, and I wasn't even the main sports guy. I was just like low rung on the totem pole. And I said, why? Why can we not take it? And he said, because most of those people are from out of town. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I said, 180,000 people are going to be there. And he's like, well, most of them are not in our viewing area. They're not our customers. I don't care about them. And that's when I said, so if Woodstock had been in Birmingham in the 1960s, we wouldn't have covered it. And,
Woodstock.
and he's
is
like,
over.
well, that's not the. And I said, well, it's 180,000 people. I think that's newsworthy. He said something, and I said, listen, You work for corporate. You're going to get this job. You'll move on. I'm like a cockroach. I'll be here forever. It's a wrong decision, but you do what you want to do. He fired me on the spot, walked back to his office. My news director, Connie Howard.
But you said
Connie.
you'd never been fired.
Yeah.
Connie said, don't go anywhere. Walked down to the office, came back, and this is so stupid of me that I cared this much about television. But I wasn't married yet, so I didn't care. She came back and said, okay, you're not fired. He wants to suspend you 2 weeks without pay. And I was like, no, I am right. We need to have our satellite truck there. I am right. I'm just fired. I'm done. She goes, go back and sit at your desk. And she goes back and she comes back 1 week without pay. And I was like, no, not one day am I going without pay because I am right about this. You know I'm right about this. She comes back and says, okay, I've got to put a letter of reprimand in your personnel file. And then that's it. We'll be fine. And I said, oh, just a letter? I don't lose any money? Nope. I said, you can do that all day long.
Put all those in there you want.
Yeah. And I did have a file.
So what happened to that guy?
How was Talladega that year?
He ended up, we ended up taking the SAT truck.
They couldn't get the SAT dialed in. They couldn't get the shot out.
And he drove.
We ended up taking the SAT truck, and he was not there much longer. Gene Hallman will remember his name because he almost got kicked off of the Pro-Am of the regions that year, the Brunos that year, because he didn't play golf, but he wanted to play in the Pro-Am. And he was in my group, and he would miss the ball, and drop MF and GD.
Oh my gosh!
And
with all those people watching.
Yeah, so he did that on What's the First.
Y'all should have brought the SAT truck to that.
we started on the back nine. What's that par 3?
Number 10.
Number 10. So he did that on
the actual first hole. All right.
So on number 11,
Yeah.
which is a longer hole.
Yeah, it's par 4.
He missed the ball again, and cussed out loud, and then hit one 100 yards into the woods. And walking down the fairway, the pro, who I can't remember his name.
Steve Smith. Oh, the Champions Tour pro.
The Champions Tour pro we were playing with walked up to me and said, you get your guy under control. If he cusses one more time, I'm getting the officials out here to escort him off the course. And I said, he's my boss. He hates me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please do it.
Go ahead and escort him out because I can't control him. And he cussed one more time, and they had to come talk to him. And he stopped playing.
Dunaway.
Because he sucked. I sucked, but he sucked.
Wow. You think he's still in the business?
Listen, I'll pretend I'm an Auburn player doing an Instagram live today. He sucked more as a person.
Would you have played harder for him? If
I would have played harder for him.
You played harder for Ballard?
If I felt like he cared for me. I did play hard for Ballard. That was not a good guy. We got developing news?
No, I'm trying to make sure we do not.
Okay.
I mean, I've got some, but I can't report it.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
And I think it's legitimate.
I think it is too. And if it comes out, that Instagram total is going to climb, and it's going to be a fascinating story.
The one I gave us?
Yep. Hunter says, I've got a Holy 690 AM jock shirt. That is old school. I promised he says, Brownie promised to replace a new one. It never came. Yes, send me your address, and we'll send you a next round shirt. Brown@nextroundlive.com. Brown@nextroundlive.com. Send me the address.
I'm going to show Rocky and Dunaway. I'll show it to you and say, this is what I got.
We can't say it on the
No,
air. Okay.
No.
Jeff is asking, y'all do that. Jeff is asking, is Eric Estrada at World of Wheels? Yes, he is. He will be here signing autographs the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Eric Estrada. So you could see him here all over the place. Lunsford says he posted the Transformer dude on TNR's Twitter. I didn't know that guy. I didn't know he was so prolific. Everybody's on their phone except Rockstar. Oh, here he is. Yeah, Lunsford did post a photo. There's the Transformer guy. The Transformer guy. Yeah.
Bumblebee.
The Bumblebee. That's the name of the character.
I've never seen the movies, but I know his name.
I
is
saw the
Bumblebee.
first one. Do you think Megan Fox is here?
She wasn't on the list.
You want to go look for her?
I'll tell you, I've been here 6 straight years now. Little
Really?
man loves it. I'm coming back Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good photos, Lunsford, and those are good.
Yeah. Breadman asked, when Jock's teamed Lance up with Jim and Ryan, did y'all honestly think it would work? I thought it was an awful idea, and you guys are my favorite show now.
Oh, I thought it was horrible too.
No, I thought it would. Well, yeah. I mean, I
think
wasn't.
All 4 of us thought it was going to be
Yeah.
horrible.
But I thought it would work. I did think it would work because I thought we were all smart enough to know where we were in our careers that we had to make it work.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think anybody was there to sabotage it except maybe Dunaway. But
Oh no, I was not.
I did. I can tell this story on the air. I think now.
Is this part of our
no,
podcast?
I won't do it
for
because
the
I don't want to sabotage Dunaway.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Why?
Wait.
Because he's going to deny it, even if it was true.
No, it's just is it?
Oh, no.
This kills me. That it's probably a lie that
Yeah.
is not true. That
Lies usually
people
aren't.
who are still lying about me are lying now.
It
Probably
was
lying back then.
just a girl that used to work with you that we all know, and she just said certain things were going on, and that you did not want to work with me. And this was like the first month or two that we were together.
And there's the gauntlet.
Rockstar.
No. Once we started, I was in because I didn't want to lose the gig, but I did. I told you this before we started. I was just like, I didn't think it was going to work. So I was really, really hesitant.
Yeah, I
would have never sabotaged
I don't think
it.
any of us
You're
wanted to
just
do it,
yeah.
but I did think once we started, we were fine. But I was uncomfortable with some of the things she said. But
Oh, no.
Oh, do we get past it?
yeah, I mean, we're here now.
Yeah,
I wish
Lance
you-
barely thinks
I
about
think she's a hostage.
Oh, wow. Oh, I cannot think of any negative things I would have said, except that I was scared that our personalities would clash. You know, I was having to be local TV guy. Now, as we do this platform, I think everyone's learning that I'm probably dirtier than Lance is.
Oh, good.
it. Wow.
I don't know. I think we've got different. I don't know, different levels of filth. Is that fair?
Yes.
I think mine is more just it's the vocabulary.
And me, it starts with the feet.
I think it starts with your mind.
Which is on the feet.
Brooks says, all 4 of your most awkward moments. That one was heading down that road and it stopped. Thankfully.
Oh, that wasn't bad at all.
Well, it was going to be. Oh, by the way, we're at the top of the hour here. We've got an hour in the books, 1 more hour to go. Worldofwills.net. Worldofwills.net.
So
what?
you know the story?
I do
Did you
not.
know back
no,
then?
no. Y'all talking about it like it felt like it was getting awkward. I
So
leaned
12
down to
years
get out of
later,
the
am I the only one that didn't
I don't know the story, Jim. I've never heard this story. Lance,
Yeah, I don't
that's the
think I've
first
ever brought it
Yeah,
up.
he's never told me.
I
that
just
story.
didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of awkward moments.
We're at World of Wills, worldofwills.net. See Kamikaze from Street Outlaws. He's a street outlaw himself. See Eric Estrada. See a bunch of cars, bumblebees here. So yeah, worldofwills.net. Worldofwills.net. Tickets are very affordable.
When Kamikaze gets here,
It's brought to you by O'Reilly World of Wills.
he can have this seat, and I will run.
No, I'll get.
I knew this would happen.
No,
I
no,
knew it.
I-
I
I've
knew
got
you and I were in because we're in the middle.
I've got to run to the restroom. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, I
Okay.
got you too. I
do
got.
too.
I got a big one.
Can we leave you, Brown?
Negative. I've got to do a Google. Your most awkward moment. All right, I'll go with mine.
About 20 minutes from now.
Yeah. Okay. About 5:30 when Kamikaze shows up. I'll go with mine. What if we just started asking him random questions that have nothing to do with him? Y'all want to do it?
What's your opinion on the vaccine?
Yeah. I
Just something
just-
light.
Just stuff like the national debt is
Yeah.
just out of control.
$30 trillion.
When you get in office, how are you going to fix that? I
No.
mean, just random stuff and see how he responds. I was hosting when I was in college. It was after I was still in college, and I was working in radio in Anniston. And these doctors did a fashion show to raise money for some sort of charity, cancer research or something. And the way it worked is they would be in a tuxedo, and the doctor's wife, would be in a dress, and I would have to introduce him. This is Dr. Lance Taylor and his wife, Jenny. Lance is dressed in an Armani tuxedo, courtesy of Sam's Tuxedo in Anniston, Stewart Formal Wear. And his wife, Jenny, is dressed in a Lily Pulitzer dress, courtesy of JCPenney or whatever, right? And then I would describe that. And let's everybody hear it for Lance and Jenny Taylor, right? So it was going fine. And like the doctor and the nurse would walk out, and I'm standing on the stage, and they're walking at me, and then they would turn and they would go down the runway, right? So about 5 or 6 doctors in, I say, up next, we have Dr. Lance Taylor, and with him is his girlfriend, Susan. And the woman on his arm goes, I am not Susan. I am his wife. And she starts shouting her name. And I'm like, so clearly he thought he was going to be, when he turned in his info, he was going to be divorced from his wife, and Susan was going to be his girlfriend there. And he never changed
So
it.
there was a legitimate Susan in the picture, though.
I think absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
And she was supposed to be in Vera Wang.
Yeah, he had submitted the name. So she is giving it to him, right? And then she gets pissed at me. And I'm like, I'm just reading the sheet. I don't even know who Dr. Lance Taylor is. And she's like, why would you say that? And I mean, the crowd's like, it is like everybody's watching, and there's
And
almost
the director's
like some
going,
gas.
come on, next.
Yeah,
next
I mean,
couple."
I'm like, why don't you just move on? Let's settle this a little bit later. Well, she dogs him out all the way up the runway and all the way back. And I cannot express to you how awkward it was. And then, of course, I'm nervous the rest of the night that some other doctor that can't keep his fly zipped has given me the wrong name. and I'm introducing his girlfriend instead of his wife. It was awful.
Very few people know that Lance went to Hollywood, and you were in a couple of movies, right?
Look, I was
Your ability to act right now,
No.
like we haven't heard that story before. That was really good.
Oh my God, I cannot stand when Dunaway.
I've
does
only
that.
heard that was only my second time.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I was it was
Yeah.
a.
Well, I mean, you
well,
know,
no, I'm
But it's been a while.
yeah,
no, I'm at the age. I'm just. We did hear that.
No,
story.
look at
No,
it. No, I didn't mean it as a shot at you. No, why would you think that?
It was a
Brad?
mystery fourth
Why would
hour,
you
right?
think that?
Fifth hour.
I mean,
Fifth hour.
okay, and I'm sure
matter.
everybody that's watching right now had heard that too. God, do you know how often you tell that Mons
Okay,
Venus
I'm going to
story?
go
It's not even
first
that
because
good.
I'm going to get a beer. Do you want a beer, Dunaway?
Do you want me to tell you
don't
where?
have to have one.
I'll show you where it goes.
I'll go
Follow
no
me.
beer.
I'll show you where it is.
No beer.
Wait a minute.
No beer.
Not everybody
kidding.
can leave. Go ahead, Lance.
Okay, thank you.
TJ says he's secure enough to say that Sam Elliott is way sexier than Patrick Swayze in that movie.
Oh,
Look
you-
at Lance.
Lance-
Look at the headset.
I was
Lance.
gonna-
That
can I
was in
tell my-
Roadhouse.
My Sam Elliott story. Have I told you
Yeah.
guys that? I think I have.
Dunaway, I'm sure has heard it, but
I'll let you.
You
know.
guys act like you've never heard. No, I was working at a thing called Amazing Pictures, and it was at
Disney, right?
No, at
Universal.
Universal Studios. Yeah, and so they had just opened the Jurassic Park ride, and it was a big deal. This summer of 1996. And so when you would come down the final, big deal if you've ever been on that ride, because there's one in Orlando too. They take your picture and everybody puts their hands up or whatever. So they had a lot of celebrities came through, especially the first month. And I'll never forget, it's the first time I'd ever seen the new $100 bill. But Sam Elliott was wearing his Wrangler jeans, came in with Catherine Ross. If you're a film buff, Catherine Ross was one of the beautiful actresses of the 60s and 70s. She was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Anyway, she is married to Sam Elliott. But he pulled out, he had a wad full of the hundreds. And I was like, wow, that's new 100. And he's like, yeah. And he was like, he's like, they look counterfeit to me. But like, he was such a nice guy. But
Yeah.
I got to meet Sam Elliott, and he's a tall, big, skinny kind of dude.
and the voice is legit as deep as it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that really raspy, deep
How about
voice
these
like
new
that.
$100 bills, eh?
They look
Sam?
Did he really say they all look counterfeit to me?
Yeah.
But, he's one of those guys. He's done a pretty good job of not aging. He's kind of looked the same.
Yep.
Even Roadhouse, he had that salt and pepper hair, and that was in 1989.
Isn't he in 1883?
Yeah, he's from what I hear, he's the only positive of that entire show.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna go.
That's
now.
good for him.
But
All
anyway,
right.
he's a good guy.
Okay.
All right.
That was a good story. I like that.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. You never heard that one?
That's it for me.
Sam Elliott, Universal story.
Yeah.
First time.
I mean, Trip wants to know if you can tell the story again about the clothing optional resort. My God, have I heard
Oh,
that
my
one?
God.
I heard it again the other
I
night.
can't Trip, and I really can't do it now.
Why?
Because we've told it so many times.
I don't care.
Trip even knows the story. He just wants to hear it again.
Okay. That's
We'll-
up to you.
we'll
It's
save
ask.
it.
It's
We'll-
ask.
We'll bring it back for the 25th anniversary in
Yeah.
3 years.
Cornbread asked, "Do you have a phrase mistake people correct you on the most?"
Telling stories too much. Same stories.
Yeah. Let's move past that.
I mean,
Just
yeah.
'cause Dunaway's a turd.
There are things that I catch myself saying during a show sometimes, like, "Hey, Brandon Marcello's coming up at the actually
but
at
it's-
11 o'clock."
Yeah, but is there a running phrase that you say all the time?
I think it goes in and out. I think there are times that I will, lean on a crutch word or a phrase and say it too much. Like sometimes we say literally too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes we say fantastic too much,
The goat.
great too much.
I'm over the goat. Oh man, this is the goat of mayonnaise.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
it's the goat.
Remember this when Lance gets back. Reese wants to know the biggest theft out of a car at the car wash where they work. Not saying Lance did it, but the
we-
biggest theft he saw.
I worked at a car wash. It was my first job, and
Right.
I would vacuum. Everybody hated the vacuum portion.
Right.
I would do it all day. People wanted to be on detail because that's where you got your tip. I would be on the vacuum portion, which is the beginning, and the end as the car's coming out is to dry it,
Wipe it down.
wipe it down. And so those are my two. In between, somebody lost a baby car seat. Those are supposed to be really inexpensive.
Right.
She was at the counter. It was in
Having to come apart.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
the child was in it when I dropped the car off to get it washed, and now it's gone. So we don't know where it happened. Like, but I don't understand how you can say that none of your employees took it. So that was a very. I'm curious. That's probably the biggest theft I remember. So that's all I got.
Wow.
Let's say Dunaway. Justin says, "Do you remember his drunk friend talking your ear off at the St. Patty's Day block party at the Red Shamrock? I apologize that happened. Do you remember that, Justin?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was not bad. That was a good time. That's not talking my head off. I could show you talking my head off. Well, that was not very long at all. That was a good time. I'd go back there this St. Patrick's Day, maybe. That wasn't bad at all.
I'm trying to get caught up. Tell them about World of Wheels, worldofwheels.net.
We're at the BJCC, the renovated Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center complex, first built in the late 1970s, but just renovated here. And this is for 51 years hosted the World of Wheels of Birmingham. Hasn't always been here at the BJCC, but this has been the permanent home for a long, long time since the BJCC ballrooms were built. And it takes up several ballrooms here in the convention center part of the BJCC. And we've got cars and trucks of all kinds here. And you can come by and see them, including some classic cars like the NASCAR used in Ricky Bobby. That's here. There's a Pepsi car from the 1960s.
It's Mustang.
An IU what did I call it?
Actually, you said Pepsi car.
You said a
Pepsi car. Yeah, it's Goodyear tires. It's a Mustang. You're exactly right. It's the old number 19 that they drove back in Daytona, back in the IUSA days. And, that's over there. And they've got some Jeeps, big wreckers, all sorts of cars. The Mandalorian car is here. There are some characters walking around, Transformers. Waffle cakes are here.
Yep. On Twitch, A Still says he doesn't think we know how Ask Us Anything works. How are we doing this wrong? Literally, people can ask us anything we're answering, right?
Yeah, how are we supposed to?
I mean, how else would you do this?
Yeah, I mean, this is not like tweets and
answers.
Tweets
This is
and
Ask
answers.
Us Anything.
This is Ask Us Anything.
Jeff B wants to know, has there ever been someone of the three of you drop a crop duster? I will say that is something. Rockstar's really bad about it, but he's in another room.
That's right. We have a rule that there's no dusting of the control.
Nothing in the
crops
studio.
Of the studio.
No dusting of the studio crops. Now, I will say we had a coworker once that didn't follow that same rule, and we did the show after this coworker, and it happened one time, and he was pretty new to the company, and it's unlike me, but I got a little forceful and informed him that did not fly in this new venture.
Yeah. I'm sure he was giggling the whole time.
Yeah, he laughed about it, but I made sure he knew, and I don't think he ever did it again. Do you?
I don't either, Brown. You usually, when you choose somebody out, nobody does it
I
again.
didn't chew, but I made it abundantly clear. This isn't a locker room. This isn't playtime.
And it was a dull knife. Dunaway, come on, man.
Yeah,
He barely even bled. Come on.
I didn't chew him out. I would say that. Well, remember this for Lance too when it gets back. Is he ever going to tell the story why he wants his old boss dead?
I don't think we're gonna have enough time.
Back to the Twitter we were asked about.
It'd be short if he tells us why he wants his old boss alive.
Preston said she turned comments off around 8 a.m. So she is well aware that she's getting more and more. Well, I mean, I think once you start getting that many followers, you realize something's up, right?
I didn't think about the comments.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Well, apparently she turned those off there, Rockstar. Probably a good move on her part.
Yeah.
13,100 now, Brown.
As Philip says, probably on YouTube, probably wishing she had the heads up and changed her account to business. Got to cash in on those impressions.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is so true. If she'd known it was going to go viral and she could have cashed in, that would have been good. Drake said he heard that, Rocky. This was about 30 minutes ago, so I have no clue what he's talking about.
Thank you, Drake.
Right there.
Is there can I read you just one of the comments?
Oh, is this from the deal there from the Instagram?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's RTR all day, but this is a W for Harson.
Tripp says Rockstar's comedic timing is incredible. It really is.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100% with that. Chris says, how long are y'all going to be up there today? 47 more minutes.
We got a couple of tents right there.
Yeah, they're playing laser tag over there. I don't know that those are tents. I think those are things to hide behind to play laser tag. I think you guys are
it's camouflage. You can barely see it.
Yeah. What is your dream car, Tripp asked, that you could realistically buy one day? Rockstar, start with you.
Dream car?
Yep.
That's the thing. If I won the lottery, I think my wife and I are the exact same on this. We always say if we won the lottery or something like that, I would not buy an expensive car.
Yeah, what would you buy? Just give me the car you would buy.
You know, if the kid in me would love to have a DeLorean, but that's not.
Yeah, I told you that was the big thing when I was growing up was the DeLorean because of Back to the Future.
I've never had. It's after the age of like 10. I've never had a dream car. Like one day I'm going to have the best Range Rover in the world. I don't care about that stuff. Just get me with good Bluetooth. How about that?
All right, you have a dream car?
That was one thing I told everybody we were going to talk about. I always wanted a Mustang, one of those 60s style Mustangs.
Right.
They look like they went really fast. Me and my granddad used to sit on the front porch, and the Volkswagens I called doodle bugs as a kid. And we would count Mustangs and doodle bugs whenever we did it. after dinner near sunset. We'd sat on the front porch, look down on Highway 31, and he'd be like, "Which one you want, Mustangs or Doodlebugs?" They were the most popular cars on the road. And I would choose one or the other, and we'd count them as they'd go by. First one to 10 won.
Would you do the punch if you saw the
No,
Doodlebug?
No, we did not. It was just strictly a counting game.
Yeah. Did you ever do when you guys, it's probably a Calhoun County thing. When you were driving down the road and you saw a Doodlebug, you had to hit the roof. Did y'all ever do that?
We did doorknob.
What is doorknob?
Doorknob is when somebody passes gas. If Brown passes gas and I say doorknob, we get to hit him until he physically touches a doorknob.
Dang.
So like middle school kids were brutal with that.
Yeah, that is rough there.
We always, if we were going under a train overpass or under a train overpass, we would touch that.
Yeah.
Kiss and touch the top.
Oh, I like that.
Or do 3 X's on the thing that blocks the sun. What's that called?
Visor?
Oh, the sun visor, yeah.
3 X's on that if a black cat crosses our path.
In the road?
Yep.
I think you got different issues.
You do that right there on the visor?
I'd go.
Yep. Robert asked, now that we're not tied to a competing station, would you ever consider doing sports in your shorts with Rick and Bubba again?
If they asked, I would consider it, depending on the financials of the situation.
Yeah. Still,
Rick and Bubba make a lot of money. So, I'd like to, I don't think I'd do it for free again. Oh, thank you.
Still some time that's got to pass, right? Before we can worry about that. But once that time passes, I guess we'll see. I may need to wait. All right. We had 2 questions for Lance while he was gone.
Car wash.
I remember one. What was the biggest item stole from the car wash while you worked there?
When you were working car wash, what was the biggest item you saw one of the workers steal?
Like I picture you did not buy any of your ponies.
I don't know what statute of limitations is.
Well, it's
like 2 months.
It's 3 years on theft. My gosh, how long ago was that? And you don't have to use names. Just use the item. A suitcase of cash?
A GTO?
It's still the whole damn car.
I never saw you clam up.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth.
I have never seen you.
God, I do remember seeing an employee, and I swear that I never did this, but I did see one of our employees, and I'll tell you guys because I think you know who it is.
Car wash employee?
But he had a big, it was like an old like Chevy Blazer, but he pulled up. He had just clocked out. He pulled up, filled that thing up, and took off without paying.
Well, I can see that. I can see that. That's like a perk.
But I've got some really good car wash stories that you guys would die. One, I'll tell you.
I mean, you clammed up like
you really did. That, I've never seen that.
Like you were human trafficking.
We live in a cancel culture, and I just don't want something out there.
You can't change the name?
I could, but I don't want it to come back on me somehow.
Okay.
I just pictured you stole change out of the ashtray and paid for your ponies.
That is pretty severe, Lance. Did you do that? Fess up now. Did you steal change?
I will tell this one story.
Okay.
So there was a guy that was a manager at one of these car washes. I'm not
Right.
going to say his name, but do you remember when Sammy's used to be on the hill?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that I heard that he would go back and go into the safe and get cash out to go to Sammy's.
I think that I heard.
I think I heard that maybe.
Yeah.
That's
A
just
little cloudy on that whole
Yeah.
thing.
that's just what Ruth wanted him to do. That's how you launder the money.
What the hell? Why?
What the hell, 3?
Yeah.
Why you got that money?
And that wasn't lickety splits. That was the old Sammy's. Dunaway, you remember where it is. It's the upper deck is there now.
Yeah, that was my first strip club.
Yeah.
Right there.
Kamikaze.
Y'all remember the
That
song
was my
playing?
first strip club too.
Remember the song it was playing? My first
I gave
Gentlemen's
my
Club?
love a flower.
No,
She
yours
so beautiful.
yours was Tina Turner's.
Tina Turner.
Yeah.
What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do?
What's love?
By the way, Kamikaze, Chris from Street Outlaws, he drives an El Camino. That is so weird that you mentioned that earlier.
Perfect.
A 1980 El Camino, big block Chevy engine, nitrous powered, pieced together with no computer data analysis for testing.
Does he have a teardrop tattoo?
No, I think he's going to look different than you think.
Hey,
Okay.
hats off to the BJCC. This is the coldest Bud Light I think I've had.
It looks
forever.
frigid.
It tastes fantastic.
I'm not exaggerating. I saw our friend Amy on the way, and I was like, "Where is the nearest place to get beer?" And she was like, "You just need to go up the escalator and take a left, and it's right there." So the girl, she's on her phone, getting the beers, and she's telling a great story to a girlfriend or whoever she's on the phone with. But
So I
when
was
she
working at
handed
this
them
car
to me,
wash.
I was like, "Holy hell, these things are freezing." I mean, I know we're soft, but walking them down here, hands were ice cold. But yes, very cold beer
Yeah, very good.
out of a tub of ice.
All All right.
I mean, really, there's no better way
No.
to keep your beer cold than
Well,
good
that's what we did.
old-fashioned ice.
So Zepp was the cleaner.
I would agree with that.
Back to the car wash.
Yeah.
Zepp was the one of the main cleaners that you would use at the car wash. So we would have these Zepp buckets, and we would put those ponies. We'd fill it up, and then we'd fill it full of the ice. And somebody would pull their car out and turn on the music, and we would just drink ponies out of the Zepp buckets.
That's right. God, life was good then, wasn't it?
It really was.
What year was that, you think?
That was 1989, and I remember listening to ballads like Cinderella. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Oh, good
Slaughter,
stuff.
Fly to the Angels.
Great tune.
You
Stick it to you.
pour some sugar. I mean, that was a great summer. We had a bar called, and unfortunately, a kid got run over and killed.
Okay. Well, that is very unfortunate.
But there was a ton of bar fights there. But it was a place called Gene's Jukebox, and they would let us go there. The owners knew we were underage. I mean, there was really nobody of age, and they finally tore that down. It was right there on 22nd. It was behind that church. It's on the corner where La Casina used to be. You remember the old Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
So it was on the corner of that, but it was called Gene's Jukebox. But we would go in there that summer of '89 after working at the car wash, and I mean, we weren't legally drinking, but we were able to drink at 17 and just stay out all night. It was pretty awesome.
My favorite part is I don't think anybody was of age.
They weren't. They weren't.
That's how bad it was. Hunter wants to know, would the next round ever hire a girl named Celsi?
Nope,
I don't
we
know
would
how to
not.
say that name. Oh,
Nope.
really?
Nope.
Okay.
Not interested.
Interesting. RM said he saw Brian Straw in a milk carton today. Have you taught Straw?
I haven't.
He's working in Houston, right?
Yeah, he got out of the business.
You doing real estate, maybe?
Maybe.
I'll look him up.
The last time I talked
Oh,
to
I didn't know he got
Straw,
out of the business.
I was on his show, and that's probably been, oh my gosh, probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been on it within 5 years ago.
Chad wants to know the most awkward or worst remote. I'll tell this story. So one time, me and Dunaway, back when we were doing AM radio, and for those that don't know, a remote's like a road show, like we're doing right here, right?
And I've got a great remote story after you.
Okay, so Dunaway and I were. I'm going to avoid the actual client. I'm not going to say where we were supposed to be, but we got there, and the place was the smallest like store in the world, right? And there was nowhere to do it inside, so they wanted us to do it on the sidewalk out front, and there wasn't a ton of room out there, and there was a big highway just right there, and there was a stoplight at that highway, and it was coming downhill. So all these trucks, the Jake brake that goes, how's it go, Rockstar? That's at like every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, that's all you can hear. And so we're going to be sitting outside, and you remember how cold it was? It was frigid. So we get there, and one of our favorite, I think all of us would be universal and say this, was one of our favorite coworkers of all time, a guy named Brian McDaniel. And Brian's job was setting up like all of this right here. He would set it up. And I got there, and I scoped it out, and I'm like,
Black jacket sipping on a Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
I never saw the guy eating in my life, but he would always be sipping on a Mountain Dew wearing a black
Cheshire
jacket.
smile.
Yep. Great guy. Great guy.
And by the way,
guy.
his
Yeah.
first time he ever flew
In a plane?
to Ireland. We're one of these
Oh my
remotes and
God.
just talking, and he
So
was
like
like,
he doesn't like take a flight to, New
Atlanta.
Orleans.
it was his honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we get to talking. He was like, yeah, it was my first flight across the Atlantic. And I was like, your first flight across the Atlantic? And he was like, my first flight ever was across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Brian has gotten there and he sets up. And when I get there, I'm like, are we really doing our show right here? And he goes, yeah, man, I am so sorry, but this is awful. So the one thing you have to have for a remote is a good connection. And they would get there and test the connection. And if it stayed connected long enough, they would say it was good. I said, how's our connection? He goes, it's dropped once. And they said, if it dropped again, we got to head back to the station.
You just ripped the cord out.
100%. I just reached there and I pulled the cord out of the back
There
of the
it
unit.
is.
I said, looks like we dropped. I'll call Dunaway and tell him head back. And I called Dunaway. He's like, oh, man, was it that bad? We can make it work. I was like, Jimmy, you have not seen this setup. It is awful. So we wheeled her back and went back to the station and did it.
So my most awkward remote, probably, it has a lot of meanings to it. And you guys have heard the story before, but because Brown, you actually had to come set it up. But I had called. It was when Auburn was playing South Carolina in the SEC champion. No, it wasn't. It was, I think it was.
I think it was Alabama, Florida.
It might have been Alabama, Florida. Anyway, it was when Mike Shula had just been fired. It was when Alabama was looking for their new head coach.
No, then it was Auburn and Tennessee.
No.
Doesn't matter. Go.
It might have been Georgia LSU.
I wouldn't have been there.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway,
Mike Shula
so
was fired in 2006.
Yeah, it was December's first weekend of December, SEC championship. But I called the Cheetah up and I said, hey, look, we're going to be over there. I think it would be good for you guys to let us do our show from there. And, people will promote it all week, and people driving over, they'll know where to come eat lunch and hang out and all that kind of stuff. And so the guy was like, I think it's a great idea. Gave me like $2,000 to do the remote from there. And it was a 2-hour show then. So that was back when I used to rotate people on and off the show. And I got Cole Kubelik to do the show with me. So I remember Brown and Mellick, because I didn't know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah, and you were like missing a piece of equipment or something. We had to get it in Birmingham and bring it to you or something like that. I can't remember the whole story.
You guys came by, but the funny thing is, like, the early shift, they were like stretching and doing their warm-ups before the doors had opened.
But shoot around.
The funny thing about the whole thing is we had a producer then that didn't like me at all, and so he's back in Birmingham. And so he's
a bitter guy.
And he's probably embellishing a little bit, but he said, every time we go to break, we had 10 more calls, people complaining you're at the Cheetah.
I'm sure there was some embellishment.
15 more calls, you're at the Cheetah. Well, we have, for the first time ever from CBS Sportsline on, shout out to Harry Long for hooking this up, Clay Travis joined us because he had just done his top 10 candidates to replace Mike Shula. And so Clay comes on, and Clay wasn't as radio savvy or interview savvy as he is now, but he was still really good and funny. So we have him on, and we're kind of going through the list, going from 10, ascending to 1. And we get to number 1, and I didn't know what number 1 was, but it was Exhume Bear Bryant from Elmwood.
Oh, no.
And
nobody cared you were at the Cheetah anymore.
Nobody cared that I was at the Cheetah anymore. And I did believe when we went, and that producer was so pissed. And then after the show, he called me. I cannot believe you put me in this situation. First, doing it from a strip club, and second, to have that guy on because of the calls we got. People want to kill your last guest. Didn't know who he was because it was the now infamous Clay Travis. But I just thought it was really funny that we were at a strip club doing the show, and that was Clay's first ever appearance, ironically. And what he said really got people so pissed off. And to this day, he's made a fortune off of pissing people off.
Do I know the producer?
Yeah, you do.
Has that guy been happy any day since then?
Nah, very bitter. Real quick update on the Auburn situation from Pete Thamel of ESPN.
All right.
Sources are telling him that Alan Green did, in fact, meet with 7 or 8 veteran players, so not a full team meeting.
All right. That's different.
7 or 8.
It's less than 9 or 10.
7 or 8 veteran players this evening to address the uncertainty around Brian Harson's future. He delivered a simple message: stay the course and control what you can control. There's no clarity. Team operating as normal. It's my favorite part of the tweet is that Pete Thamel says the team is operating as normal. There is nothing normal about this. It's impossible that you're operating.
Well, how do
as
you
normal.
just have that select few that you meet with?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no way Brian Harsin is able to go back and coach this team, is there? Well, it's impossible.
I would say no. From our Farmfolio chat room on Twitter at Next Round Live, Derek says, for T-Town, Teetown, can Rockstar say, I'll suck on your toes, or just tell the story again?
Which one do you want?
The suck on your toes.
Do you want the story that included the story?
I say tell the story again.
I do get confused, and I'm not just saying this for a fact.
I know.
Yeah.
Were they sisters, the one that would suck on your toes and the one that got blown away?
Well, Dunaway
confused
confused is the one that gets blown away with suck on your toes.
Yeah,
It's two different people.
Okay, they are two different people.
They're two different people. I think they were in a relationship.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so we had these two that would babysit my sister and I when my mom and dad had gone out of town, and one's name was Pinky, and she had Coolio hair. She had the Coolio hair, and she was missing a few teeth. And my parents were out of town. I remember they wanted us to watch Flowers in the Attic, which I'm still scarred by. I'm sure, Lance, you've seen it.
I knew I never saw it, but it's basically chick or grandma keeps the kids in the attic, right?
Nurse Ratchet plays the whoever played Nurse Ratchet from Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh my God, she's out of Birmingham. Louise.
She plays the grandmother, and she is evil. Like this, watching this as
Louise Fletcher.
Yes, as a 6 or 7 year old. So we watched that. I think we also watched Beetlejuice at the theater by Green Springs that used to be there. It was like a theater of 4 or 5 screens, and Pinky would love to chase me up the stairs when I was barefoot and put my toes in her mouth and go, I suck on your toes. I suck on your toes.
But she actually did suck on your toes?
Yeah, well, she'd not literally suck them. She'd put them in her mouth and act like she was going to bite them and stuff like that.
What did your parents think about that?
They weren't there at the time.
Yeah.
You never told them?
No, well, it's funny now, but at the thing, I was not fun. I was sheer terror, like laughing, like terror, like I'm really uncomfortable.
Reed. Reed wants to know what your worst first date is.
Is that our Reed?
I don't know.
It
looks like it. Your worst first date, Rockstar.
By the way, have you ever sucked somebody's toes?
No.
I have not.
No.
No, I've
I
never done
only
that.
have a couple of times.
Dunaway's
I
strangely
know
quiet.
Dunaway
about
has.
this.
Last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, Dunaway, that's a walk in the park to him.
Maggie had her toes done yesterday.
Pour some of that Bear Bryant Coca-Cola on them.
I mean, honest to goodness, last night she had just got back from having her toes done, and it just got just got out of the shower.
Oh,
And
Dunaway.
I didn't suck on them, but I had both feet on each
Mm.
cheek, and I said, I swear, if you took this picture right now of both your feet on my cheek, we could melt the internet right now, sending it out with all the rumors.
Just to
about
Dunaway's
my-
like 8-ounce Wagyu or a foot.
You know what? My first, if this is the read, I think it is, but the first date I had with this worst first date, I never really had a first date.
Right. Well, you've had to have had a first
No,
date.
every girlfriend I've ever had besides from Nancy, where we kind of had a first meetup, it was a girl that was a former friend that we just
Right.
started hanging out. It's never like I
Right.
never went to a girl.
Not to interrupt, but is this the one that you went to church with?
No, but yes, that's
That's a
good one.
great
Yeah.
story.
I can't tell that story.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, you can. You just don't have to say the church or her name.
So I met this girl.
Is this a story you can't tell?
Yeah, I'll tell
Okay.
you. I don't know where she is now. I was playing at a bar.
Probably on her back.
It's incredible.
You think she's sleeping?
Anyway,
It's
Yeah,
early. It's
little
Friday
fucking
night. It's
little
Friday
kid.
night. I'm playing at this bar by myself, and I see this attractive girl at the bar, and she's just giving me weird looks. And I keep playing. Then she finally comes, I guess, musters the strength to come up to me, and she says that my grandmother's in the hospital. Okay. She tells me her name. I was like, okay. She's like, I just wrote a poem. Do you think you could turn this into lyrics or to a song for my grandmother? I was like, never met this person in my life. I was like, sure, or whatever. So we exchanged numbers, and she starts texting me back and forth. And then she says, a bunch of us are meeting at so-and-so's house over by Lakeshore. I meet her at this house, which is like two couples, and then her and another single girl and two other single guys. They start playing Never Have I Ever.
Oh, wow. That's
And-
quick.
And somebody said, never have I ever hooked up on a train tracks. And I'm like, oh, that's so, you can't put your hand out. So this girl that I was with technically said, you guys, I'm telling you the truth. God has cursed me that I cannot have an orgasm.
on Rockstar.
Lance teed it up.
He did. Rockstar.
By the way, how old was she? She was young, right?
Probably 23, 24.
Yeah.
So a week later, she still texts me. She wants me to meet her at this church for a Wednesday night service. I was like,
Right.
all right. And we get there, and this girl, from all the things I've heard come out of her mouth and everything,
Yeah.
and she is the whole, like,
Right.
just all into on the service. And I'm going,
No, show the expression.
just
No, the expression. How are you doing?
so we don't text anymore after that. Like that got come up communication. And then there was another one where a former employee of ours, his wife, saw me at one of our Christmas parties, and she said, "Are you a nice guy?" I said, "I think so." Because, well, we have a nanny that needs a nice guy, and she's a super girl. She's a musician. Is always a musician. Will you go out with her? I was like, well, at least will you have her over and play music with you? I was like, that's really awkward, but yeah. So this girl comes to my house, my apartment, and she sits down and she plays a little ditty.
You
She's-
deadbolt the door behind her.
she's
You're
a-
staying
I'm a
here.
nice guy.
She's a tiny little. Well, there's the point. She's a tiny little thing. So she plays a couple of her songs, and like, those are really good. And so we start talking. So it's like, let's go eat because it's time to go eat. So we go down to a local Chinese restaurant right down the street from me. She proceeds to just open up to me, and she says that her current number is, I think it was 37.
Okay. It seems a bit high.
I didn't
You didn't care one way or the other?
ask. There's no,
Yeah.
but was it me like, hey, let's compare our numbers?
Oh, it's
together?
just, you just said that
Yeah,
out of the
it
blue.
just came out of nowhere.
37,
Or-
the number of people she had hung out with,
Yes,
been with?
yeah.
She
And
might
she-
have been looking
wow.
for 38.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
She was 20, 21, 22 at the time. And we get back to my place, and it's a Sunday night, and she says she has a thing of wild turkey with her.
Oh,
Wow,
wow. Wild
Hey,
turkey.
60 minutes in wild turkey.
Yeah.
Where
So-
could this go?
So I finally said, like, I'm going, oh my God, I got to get up in the morning. I'm so tired. She's like, I don't have to get up for anything. I got nothing to do tomorrow. And I was like,
How do I get out of this?
I kept saying,
How
like,
did you two get matched up?
former employee.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, so I know her?
No, you know the person that set it up.
Oh.
Did you stop calling? She stopped calling you Sean and started calling you 38.
Yeah. So, try to. So I was like basically shoving her out the door. Like, I have a good night. I'm so sorry, but I got to get up early in the morning. Like, this is when I was doing a show with Richard Dixon and Jay Willoughby. We had to get up at 5 a.m. So I was like, I got to get up in the morning. And she finally left. And
I bet you had a couple of friends that would have been like,
you know. And she also bragged to me that she was homeschooled. And I was like, oh, cool. And she was like, yeah, it was really cool because every test my mom would just give me the answers. So I was like, oh, that's good.
We know what PE was, right?
There you go. Great story.
And she can count.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're live at the World of Wills, worldofwills.net. Worldofwills.net. It's all weekend long. Come see Kamikaze from Street Outlaws, Eric Estrada of Chips fame. Robert asked if Auburn makes it to the Final Four, will we broadcast live from New Orleans?
I think that is the plan.
That's absolute,
Yeah.
right?
The Final Four, yes.
Yep.
Before that, probably not. Right?
It's just too all over the place. Yeah, I think it'd be too complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Final Four. I
Yeah,
think we're
Final
there.
Four will be there. We'll be in New Orleans at the Final Four.
Remember, we were in Minneapolis back at our old job.
Wow, this is crazy. Young 7-Up says the 8th time I flew, I actually landed the plane. Do you have anything odd like that?
Oh, shut up.
That's not odd. That's incredible.
That is
I'm going to say hi to this guy real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Jim's going to go speak to one of our listeners. and
Hey,
viewers.
Eric.
Hey, what's up?
Punch.
MJ said I've slept with 37 people and have a bottle of turkey.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
No, bottle of wild
Oh,
turkey.
I know it's wild turkey.
Remember, are you a nice guy?
Oh, I forgot that's how it was set up.
Yeah. Are you a nice guy? I assume so. Because,
yeah, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people asking how that story ended up there, Rockstar. I mean, literally the way you finished it.
what? Which story?
The 37 to
Oh, he
38.
shoved her out the door.
No, like
Yeah.
that was it. Like literally nothing happened. There's no lie here. I'm not trying to say like be shy about it.
I don't think she's one that would allow you to.
Yeah, I got her out.
She's not gonna sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I got her out and she left.
Sent her on the road, sent her packing.
Never talked to her again.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get I've got these questions are coming from everywhere.
So you've never seen her again, though.
No, actually, I think I did see her years and years later because we were doing trivia at Odie's and she was outside. And I remember saying, that girl looks so familiar to me. And then I went out and I could not remember her name. I can't remember her name now, but she recognized me and asked how she was doing. She said she was engaged and everything. So everything all ended well.
I remember the other question we got for you while you were on the beer run. Jonathan wants to know our most prized sports memorabilia item that you have at home.
Yeah, I don't have a lot.
I don't either. I think it would surprise you how little all of us have. Dunaway, who's actually over talking to somebody, has more than any of us.
I did. Fortunately, when I was doing that, the abbreviated roundtable by myself, I had a relationship then with Hibbett Sports, and Magic Johnson had come in town, and he had just released a limited edition basketball that was purple and gold. And for whatever reason, he came to Birmingham. This is probably 2004. And
I was there when you interviewed him at like a Burger King or something like that.
No, it was in a Hibbett in the back room.
yeah.
But they allowed me. I reached out to Hibbett, and my people hooked it up, and Magic agreed to sit down with me in a back room of Hibbett for 15 minutes. And I got to do this one-on-one interview, and I think we've got the interview somewhere. I need to find that. Anyway, he signed a couple of basketballs, and I gave one away to a charity auction one time that we did, and then I've still got one of those autographed basketballs. I'm not a big autograph guy. I'm not a big sports memorabilia guy.
Yeah.
But
I'll never forget. This is so random, but my dad was business partner, or my dad was in a business one time. And yeah, somebody's reminded me of the other question for Lance, and I remember it now. My dad and a business partner of his were doing business in Pittsburgh, and the guy Rockstar they were doing business with was Mark Bolger's dad. And
I remember this.
and so my dad says, my son does sports down in Birmingham, sports radio. And he goes, well, would he like a Mark Bolger jersey? And my dad didn't want to say no. He went, I mean, what do you say to that, right? So my dad's like, hey, I know you probably don't want this, but this guy, I met Mark Bolger's dad. We're doing a business deal with him, and he gave me a jersey. I'm going to give it to you. So he gives me this St. Louis Rams Mark Bolger jersey. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And then I knew this is, I think, before we were even doing a show together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, the only Rams fan I know is LT. I'm going to take it to him. And I thought Lance would be like, Brown, this is the nicest gift
This
you're ever.
guy's trash.
So no, we show up to work the next day. Lance, I got something for you. And Lance is like, no, I don't really want it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, Mark Bolger.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's actually, I think it was game worn.
Mark Bolger was a better quarterback than Jared Goff. Mark Bolger was a pretty good
Shocker.
quarterback.
He was.
I remember they went to the divisional game. They hosted it, the Rams. This is in 2003, 2002, 2003. And Steve Smith walk off in overtime. Jeff Wilkins had missed a 51-yard field goal that would have won it. Rams would have played against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. And instead, Carolina beat them. Carolina ended up winning NFC Championship and went on and played in the Super Bowl and lost on a last-second kick to Vinatieri. The Rams were good enough that year with Bolger to win a Super Bowl.
Well, I remember this. Before I really knew Lance, I went to the thrift store a lot, and I knew you were a Rams fan, and I remember giving you this item. I'm just so curious how fast it hit the dumpster after I gave it to you, because
Lance didn't even do that to me. He wouldn't even take it. He's like,
I was going through the T-shirt section of the thrift store, and I found a Rams. You remember the old fat heads they did, like Charles Barkley be a fat head, animated fat head. It was the whole roster of the Rams, like a caricature form, and it was like probably like the 1992 team. And I was like, I'm the only Rams fan I know. I remember giving that to Lance, and I'm sure that thing hit the dump because it probably had chili dog stains on it.
It did. It had holes and everything.
Yeah. It was $1.
So did you just toss it?
I don't know what I did with it. I didn't wear it.
I didn't expect you to
But,
wear
I
it.
had a buddy of mine gave me a Torrey Holt fathead that he thought I was going to put on my wall at the house.
Well, it's in your bedroom. It's not in the.
I gave it back. I was like, look, you can go on and chip this back because I'm not going to use it.
J. Mose says he's got OJ's autograph pre-murder. I guess the value of that probably went up, didn't it? After the murder?
If you can authenticate it was pre-murder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I assume there's
Did he sign it pre-murder?
But, speaking of which, that we talked about the Ricky Bobby car is here from Talladega Nights. I think I told you guys I went to the Crime Museum in Gatlinburg. It was the highlight for me, but OJ's Bronco was there when I was there, the actual Bronco.
The actual white Bronco?
Yeah.
I mean, was it actually the one, though?
Oh, yeah.
It was Al Cowling's.
No,
Bronco.
it was Al Cowling's.
That's true. Good point.
But I talked to
did they impound that or something, or did Al Cowling sell it?
This guy that owns the museum there. He's got Ted Bundy's Beetle as well, and then he had something else that was really cool.
What a morbid collector.
He really is.
No, he is. But he paid for these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything great?
You did not, but Rockstar told a dating story that was incredible.
I was here for that.
What was the question? The sports memorabilia, though?
The sports memorabilia.
Was that for me, or was that the one that you just checked? Or was
that's the one I just checked, and I got a new one for you, though. The piece of sports memorabilia that's a tough word on me. Sports memorabilia you value the most.
I don't have anything that's great. The footballs who's the guy that joins us? Bob Iback. Bob Iback every year. I've got
all I could think of when Alabama was leading Georgia. That's where I have to interview that Bob Iback.
But I've got a national championship football from every national championship I've covered. 1992, 2009, Auburn in 2010, 2011, 2012, 15, 17.
So when you do a Zoom interview, is that your background?
Yeah.
Used to be. I did it one time, but not anymore.
I really thought you were going to say
have a sports room anymore.
The game-worn autographed Cat Reddick jersey.
I like that. It was worn in the Olympics. I made the mistake of wearing it for a picture one time.
I remember that.
And now I'm having a hard time finding it. I don't know where it is because I wanted to bring it out for National Women's Sports Day yesterday.
Because you probably Incredible Hulked it.
Yesterday was National Women's Sports Day.
Did y'all not know?
Sports Day.
And you knew that?
Yeah, I missed that one.
How?
Because it was hashtag on social media everywhere. It was trending.
What'd you say, Lance? You what?
I missed that one.
I would have thought Lance. All right, so I thought you would have celebrated it. This may be all right. So let me tell you,
but if it's freaking National French Toast Day,
Oh,
we'll all know
I
that.
love French toast.
I hadn't had French toast in forever.
Have
though.
you not?
No.
Nancy
I like it though.
Nancy makes a mean French toast.
What does she do?
Oh, I don't watch the process.
Well, I mean, what kind of bread?
What do you do? A brioche bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just tell you?
The best kind is, I can't ever say it right, is that challah bread. You know what I'm talking about? That's the best stuff to use for French toast.
There was a snowstorm in Charlotte recently, and I saw people tweeting, asking, because they bought a lot of the eggs, milks, and bread. But of course, they were able to get out a day after the snowstorm. So they had all this extra bread, milk, and eggs, and they were wondering, could you make the French toast put it in Ziploc bags, freeze it, and then bring it back and just heat it up
That's
in
interesting.
the microwave afterwards, or would it
I would
would
do,
it kill you?
I would-
Salmonella.
yeah, what'd they say?
It was
Go for it. It's not me.
It was literally 50-50 on the
Don't
internet.
really know.
It was like polling the audience in the old Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and getting the worst possible answer, 50-50 split.
All right, so the question, let me quickly say we're at World of Wills. We've got about 15 minutes left here.
World of Wills.
Time for more of your questions.
All weekend long, though, for
it
World
is.
of Wills. It's not tonight. You can come Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. Kamikaze Chris from Street Outlaws is here. I couldn't find a whole lot on the guy.
Did he come by when I wasn't here?
He did not. I think we're going to dodge that one because I don't know a whole lot to ask him. I don't watch that show, Street Outlaws. The best I can tell, they race one another. Like
How'd you get that name? Chris. That's a weird name. Chris.
for pink slips. They race for pink
I mean, a
slips.
You know, I
street
don't know,
outlaw,
Joe.
either you're racing somebody, you shot somebody, or you snatched a purse.
Well,
I mean,
the Lance has the first question, so I hope he comes now. Also, Eric Estrada of Chips fame is here signing autographs, taking photos. I think there's a little charge for the autograph of the photo, if I'm not mistaken.
Malachi Moore's going to be here
Malachi
this
Moore,
weekend.
Alabama defensive
I
back.
saw Sherman Williams upstairs. He's
Did
got
you
a
really?
booth. Yeah.
Sherman Williams
Was
is
he doing
upstairs.
What's he doing?
Not the painter.
Shake. Everybody's like, do that shake thing again.
Yep, Sherman Williams.
Yeah, so that's all here. Worldofwills.net, BJCC Exhibition Hall. You can see the cars behind us here. That'll be here all weekend.
Favorite non-Saban running back.
Favorite non-Saban running back, Shad Williams. I used to interview the heck out of Shad Williams. Auburn fans will make fun of me. But he was such a good interview and such a nice guy. And then I remember when Bruno
Mars.
Call him
No.
Shoddy.
What's
He didn't have a last name.
just Bruno is his
yeah,
name?
Yeah.
Bruno.
He was
So
pretend-
Shadi, how do you date the women? I don't date people on the team. Is it against the rules to date people on the team? I don't date people on the team. And it's Shoddy. It's Shad.
I cannot
Okay,
believe.
Shoddy.
Yeah. I guarantee you there was an NBC 13 microphone right there. I
said-
was standing next to that.
Yeah,
Going,
like-
what is this guy?
I know
Do
Dunaway's
it.
all pissed about it.
He was like, do you find it irresistible for these people with such powerful thighs and such big pectorals? And you have to play the game first. What?
Yeah. He was a good interview, though. He is now, I saw it, he's the strength coach at Oregon, or
That's
one of them, the strength coach at Dan Lanning at
I
Oregon.
think he's assistant strength
Yeah.
coach, which you don't think of the little guy doing that.
You would not think.
Dennis Riddle,
Dennis Riddle?
because he had the darkened visor.
He did.
Yep.
He did. Scored a big one in the Iron Bowl.
But he was like one of the early guys for Alabama that looked cool. You know, just they're always so no names on the back for a long time.
It always seemed like he was running in slow motion, though.
Yeah, that's Ken Darby would be mine because he looked like he was slow motion.
Did he play for the Rams?
He did for a minute.
Yeah, I knew
And
that.
Tampa.
Yeah.
I liked obviously Sean Alexander, but before that, Derek Lastic.
Yeah, Derek Lastic was good.
Lastic was fun because
He's
he
like
didn't,
from New York State.
he
wasn't
didn't look like he was supposed to be any good,
Yeah.
but boy, he got it done.
All right. So we at some point, there are a couple things that have to pass before we do this. So you can look for this summer. We're going to do a podcast, and it's basically going to be the oral history of our show. So we'll go back to the start, and we'll tell everything.
Lance gave us a good tease in the beginning
Which one?
of the confrontation between these
Oh,
two.
I know. I didn't know that was a good part of it.
confrontation.
Well,
Might not even be true. She might have made it up.
we're going to do
Truthfully, she was too cool for me. I don't think we talked a whole lot.
we're going to do a behind the scenes and tell all the stories from the history of our show. And that's where, if we do reveal,
Is she on Instagram, by the way?
I have not seen or talked to her in 12 years.
if we do reveal the,
So I broke your friendship up
Oh God.
because that's been about 12 years.
No, I think
You
she
chose me over her.
No,
Wow, I
no,
appreciate that.
no.
You didn't?
No, I'm saying I really don't know what happened to her.
if we do reveal the landmines, that'll be on this podcast. All right. So I'll tell you that. We've got to decide that. So there might be a couple things, but primarily we're going to give you the behind the scenes history of our show. Things you didn't know that actually happened on this show.
We're gonna do it like The Office, though, right? Where, I mean, sort of where you have interviews and then maybe some pictures to go along.
You know
with
what's
it.
funny about this is Dunaway didn't even want to do this when I first brought it up, and now he's producing it.
Wow.
Like the first time I brought it up, Dunaway's like, nobody's going to listen to that. I'm like, all
That
right.
is
And then I
not
mentioned,
true. I never said that.
Oh God.
I never said
oh
that.
my gosh, he is lying right now. So you did. I brought it up. You're like, are we really going to do that? You think people will listen?
In fact, I think it was my idea.
Here we go.
I knew this would happen. So this is tailor-made for that podcast, unless you want to do it right now. While you were off getting beer, someone asked, will you ever reveal to us why the general manager that you want to kill him?
I don't know if I want to kill him.
we're gonna
I
back
just-
to
Torture him. You said blowtorch.
No,
I said it'd be easier for you to tell why you want him alive.
I
Be a
think
shorter
that's,
story.
that's just a I don't know. That's just just an expression saying
Yeah,
that I
okay.
would.
It's just an expression.
No, I look. I
Will
mean,
you go into that story in the podcast?
But for
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, though, he took Brown and me one time to lunch, and basically told Brown and me that the show would be better just you two.
Yeah.
We could get him out.
They basically said Lance is bad news. He's dragging your career down.
Well,
Oh, we told you that though. You remember that?
No, he
Yeah.
sabotaged me because we had him as a consultant. He was a former boss of mine. Complete piece of shit, by the way. And I should have known this because the late great John Ed Willoughby told
He
me.
did.
He said, "Look, when he got the job, and I endorsed him. I'll never
You
forget.
did. I remember you telling us this
Citadel
guy's going to be great for
was
us.
going through the sell to Cumulus,
right.
and I sat down with Judy Ellis, who was our CEO back in the day, and
That's
she was
right.
like, "Do you have any good names locally that would be a good general manager?" And I gave her the dude's name, and 2 weeks later, he's hired. But before he's hired, he's calling me, and he's like, "How do you make your money there?" And so I told him, like,
Move.
it wasn't like tricks of the trade. It was just ways that I knew. I mean, it was all above board, but it was the way I was making my money. And so basically the day he got in, he started to cut how I was making my money. And he went back on everything that he told me. And he was just slimy. And everybody that worked with him, he ran half the staff off. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I almost got out of the business.
Almost ran us off. That's part of the podcast.
I had
Fell asleep
conversations.
in an interview with me.
Huh?
He fell asleep in an interview
Yeah.
with me. He also said the day he was hired, if all of you guys in this room, the whole staff, if all the people in this room are not making more money this time next year, I have failed.
Well, he failed.
I made less money.
Yeah, I made 25% less.
Everybody was making less.
Yeah.
And he was doing it to the bottom line to get his bonus up. But I was calling Rocky's dad on the side, talking about,
Who's an attorney?
yeah, it was just, we were having some discussions on the side. And I never went to HR, and I should have, because it was a hostile work environment. Some of the things that he was saying in some of the department head meetings, I can't explain how big of a piece of shit he was. He was awful. He was an awful individual. I wish he would have died then. If he dies tomorrow, I don't care. He's the only person in this world that if he dies, I really don't care.
What if he has a dog though?
He's got a daughter. He's got kids.
No, I meant-
He's got dogs. I mean, that sucks for his dog. Dog will be better
the
off
dog.
without him.
The
It sucks for the dog, not the daughter. Daughter, she can fit for herself. It's
She
that dog.
knows her dad.
Yep.
And I haven't run into him yet. And I'm telling you, if he ever
I
comes
did
up
one
and
time.
tries to shake my hand,
Yeah.
it's just not going to be good. I just hope I never am in that situation, because I'm getting the older I get, the more passive I get. I want to become passive, and I want to be a good influence for my kids and stuff. But I mean,
you are becoming more zen lately.
I would like that. And I don't want to cross his path, because wrong thing, it would be bad.
So
Really
maybe
bad.
one day Lance will tell that story in the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can pull it out of him.
And I don't know. It's so podcasts, not documentaries. How you're labeling this, huh?
Well, it could be video. I mean, I don't know how we do it. It's just an idea I birthed some time ago. And I mean, we can massage it any way you guys think's best. Everybody here on the chat's looking forward to it. They would love it.
Well, I when I came up with the idea for the documentary of the origin of the show.
Yeah.
You
were more like a visual and audio. Like
Yeah.
Brown's
No.
supposed to do audio.
But whatever you do, don't stop like Lost or whatever. Go all the way to the end, because the last year you're going to want to be around for those stories.
Oh, you're talking about the last year we just lived?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now
Stick around for the end.
the last 18 months, you want to be around for that.
I mean, I guess now, based on the different agreements and stuff, I guess we can be full disclosure, right?
By
Well,
the
yeah,
time
I mean,
we do this, we can do anything we want.
Once it's released, yeah, I think everything will be on the table. And the person you're talking about plays a critical role in the story, because there was a massive change that almost happened in this show that was all because of him.
Yeah.
that nobody who watches or listens to the show know.
I don't think so. I mean, people close to us know it, but I don't think anybody that is watching or listening knows.
Yeah, and I mean, all the
And it's a
people
great story.
we worked with, I think a lot of people were instrumental that we don't work with anymore. And I think we still got pretty good relationships with a lot of these people. That's the only guy. Like, I don't think you guys have any. Well, there is one guy that we brought up earlier in the show that I don't care anything for, but I wouldn't want him to die.
Yeah. No. I know.
No, I don't want anybody to die, but I'm disappointed now that people I thought were really good friends aren't friends anymore. I mean, that disappoints me. It saddens me.
Just don't use all our good stuff here. We got to save it for
Well,
the
no, that's-
documentary.
Wait, I don't know who is this a different story that we.
Well, I think this is modern day. And with one of those people you're talking
Oh,
about.
I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it makes me sad
Yeah.
because I really, like he would have maybe been very close to one of my six to carry my casket.
Oh my God, can we go over the 6,
Yeah,
please?
I
Please
don't
tell me the
know.
6. Yeah, I don't think you would have made my 6. But
Because you know 1,000% you got that written down.
I know. That is one of the things I
You
love
know
about
what doesn't
Dunaway.
make any sense is we're going to cremate you.
I know.
I'm going to get cremated now, but
So we're not going to be carrying your.
No,
It's
but
gonna
he
have
made
us-
a plan.
but
It's
I
going to
used
have
to-
his championship footballs in the casket.
but I used to, I
It's
used
Bob
to,
Ivax.
I used to have it. I called him my P6, my Paul Bearer 6. Of course, I was a
No,
redneck,
you should've
so it was
said-
Paul Bear 6.
I know you should have said, no, you should have called Paul Bear Bryant's.
Johnny Orr is one of your guys, right?
I don't know if Johnny could lift the casket.
What about Dirty?
Dirty was one time. I don't know if he would be now.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it'd be 3 of you on one side. You guys are on the left side.
Boy, I'm glad you're going to be dust.
Hey, look who's watching us on Facebook. He just weighed in. Our old boy David Neal.
Hey, D.
You
Neal.
remember D. Neal?
He
Hello,
was-
Hello,
I'll ta-
David.
Let me tell you a quick story about David Neal. So
All right,
he
that's
first, and I don't know if you were doing the show with me then or not, but we would have different celebrities come in and do 1 hour. And some people started, it became a thing. I would give a gift, and then certain people would bring me a gift. And I remember he came in and he brought this incredible 50-cent poster. But the great thing about
Fantastic.
no, you know what? I gave him the 50-cent poster.
Yeah, much better story though.
No, I gave him the 50-cent poster, and then on that 5 o'clock news, he had done the weather, and then he gave it to Steve Crocker during the newscast.
He regifted it.
And Steve Crocker rolled it out.
Oh, thank you.
That's not uncomfortable at all.
It was so awkward. And it was one of those felt, it wasn't a real poster. It was a felt 50-cent
yeah.
The
poster.
black light poster.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Oh, I love David Neal. I
It was incredible. I mean, just one of the best sense of humors.
He really was.
that's what I was about to
Funny
say.
guy.
Very
Yeah.
few people naturally more funny than David Neal.
He said you're lying. David Neal says that
That's
is
not a lie. I
You
mean,
saw it
I
happen.
can't even make that up.
We don't lie
Yeah.
ever.
I think he's still in Denver, I think.
I think so.
He's in Denver.
Yeah.
God, I need your address, David Neal.
Hit the slopes with you one day.
David's a big fisherman. I know he loved fishing, and I don't know. I hadn't seen him forever.
I'd like to order
good
some
dude.
stuff from David Neal.
Gaston says, I wish my daughter's basketball coach would get hit by a bus, be out for the next 3 years, but not die. So he's not going to take it as that far.
How far were you at? I was out for 3 years.
Yeah, I got hit by a bus.
Daughter's basketball coach. That went off the rails,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
it?
pretty bad right there, isn't it?
Somebody's not getting the right playing time.
Yeah. All right, so we'll do that podcast. It's going to come out this summer. It will be basically, like I said, the oral history of,
Can I tell
of
you-
this show.
Do I wait till what I think the turning point of the show was for me? Or you want to?
Save that for the podcast. So,
Okay.
like the
Yeah, because I've got some moments with you before all of us. That
Yeah,
there were some ledge moments.
yeah, I think it will be helpful for us to go back and maybe
Oh,
explain.
we got to storyboard it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to storyboard it because I think that it will require some explanation of how the two of us got together and then how the four of us got
I can
together.
never remember the year you and I started.
Yeah, it's either 03 or 04. I can't remember.
Shula was still there, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I always try to remember
I
it.
remember doing with you guys Saturdays on the quad.
Yep.
Y'all hadn't had a show yet, but y'all did Saturdays on the quad. And I
That-
was
Wasn't that
I
from
checked
12?
Yeah, it was from
This was actually from the
it was,
quad.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did a show together on the quad. That's when Dunaway was doing the coach's show,
Yeah,
and
the
we did a
Crimson Tide-
pregame on Jocks. Yeah.
Yeah, the Crimson Tide Sports Network had us
Yep.
a hookup.
Yep. And we did the show, and that was how we kind of started doing shows together. Like, hey, this might work if
Wow,
we did
it's
it full
crazy because
time.
I tech those shows.
Yeah.
How about that?
Here we are. Sylvester Kroom.
That's when I thought you were Jewish.
Sylvester Kroom, when he was getting people fired, Kroom, as a guy who was, what was the dog? He was some kind of caller, called himself the something dog.
The the grumpy old dog.
Grumpy old dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. He texted me the other day. He goes, "You don't remember me? I'm the grumpy old dog."
Right.
And I was like, "Grumpy, what's up, man?" And he texted me something about Kroom was going into the Hall of Fame. And
He
he's like,
was. Yep.
Yeah, they got Kroomed. And I was like, "Who is this? A grumpy old dog." But you wrote a song for us to Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the
I
Fire."
did. Tommy Tuberville? No, was it? No, what
I
was
can't
it?
remember.
Should I stay or should I go? Was the one y'all did for
For Franchoni. Yeah, you said we didn't start the firing. I think it was Shula. And then you did you wrote a theme song for Dunaway to
Sugar Ray.
how's that go?
Runaway, 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 runaway.
Yeah, you did. Jim Dunaway, Dunaway,
Then
Dunaway.
y'all made me do Sweet Caroline for Luganville.
Tom Luganville.
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah, see, y'all had my
Luganville.
guy working
We
on
did.
the side.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it.
Really good stuff too.
Yep.
It's-
And then he also did. We
but
had
it
a
was Sylvester Croom who's getting anybody fired. He didn't start the firing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had some cheesy stuff. And one of our most popular segments was Guess That Meat. Who was the sponsor? Do you remember? It wasn't Ziegler.
I think it was Ziegler.
Was it Ziegler? No, it was
not
Oscar Mayer. Brian. They were giving away tickets to every Alabama home game, like Tennessee, Iron Bowl, all that. And you'd have to guess the meat. And Rockstar did the intro for it.
I can't remember how it went though. He said,
Guess that meat. Guess
Oh,
that Brian.
"Yeah, it was
meat.
too. There she goes."
Yeah, there she
By the
goes.
laws.
Yeah. All right, our time's up. So come see World of Wheels, worldofwheels.net, worldofwheels.net. Some guy, he's videoing us. Worldofwheels.net. If you want to, my wife says, and she's got a good memory on stuff like this. Valentine's Day 03 was our first show.
I remember. It was,
Rockstar loves the factory started on
I remember it was
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
No, you know
Poetic.
what? I remember it was
poetic.
Valentine's Day too because we did a show from the Spistos Salon. What was the salon?
Oh,
back in the day?
I don't know.
Salon
Beliza.
Beliza?
Yeah, I used to get my hair cut and colored.
I'll never forget.
You came in purple one
So
day.
this is when you guys
peak.
followed up the round table.
Yeah.
But I remember the first anniversary, Jennifer brought you guys a cake to Salon Beliza.
Oh, how about that?
And
So
we,
that
were,
would've
we were live there.
been- yeah.
I remember being live.
Yep. I remember us doing, I think we did, everybody submitted their makeout song or their slow dance song, and the listeners had to guess. We'd use it as a bumper coming back. And the listener had to guess which one it was. Was it me? Was it Dunaway? Was it our producer?
Yep.
I remember that. Yeah.
I
That's
remember.
forever ago.
I remember Michael let Christy take a 15-minute break and come have cake with us. She worked a lot, man. She could cut some hair.
She's putting like a fork in her mouth. Come on, that's time. Quick choose, quick choose.
I mean, she ran the company,
Yeah.
man. She cut hair. She
did,
cut some
yeah.
hair. All right. That's the show.
That is the show, Jimmy. I think we've done enough here. We went past 6 o'clock. Let them know we went past 6 o'clock. All right. Worldofwheels.net, worldofwheels.net. Come out here all weekend long. BJCC in the BJCC, what is this called? The Convention Hall?
Yes.
I don't think it is. Exhibition Hall.
East Exhibition
East
Hall.
Exhibition Hall, BJCC. Come see Kamikaze Chris from Street Outlaws, Punch. Malachi Moore will be signing autographs this weekend as well.
What kind of shirts do you guys want? Other sayings like did we need a basketball broom one? Did anybody Auburn basketball fans want a broom specially?
This is how Dunaway
Sure.
does his ideas. He's had this idea forever, and he's just not going to say anything. Maybe the listeners will want it. I don't
Maybe
know.
so.
Maybe so. All right. So come worldofwheels.net, O'Reilly World of Wheels. You get tickets right outside. Great parking. Great fun. Good for the kids as well. Worldofwheels.net. We'll see you guys Monday. Thanks for spending some more time with us. See you Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Have a great weekend.